snowing in the east, it's raining in the west, but here in Memphis, Tennessee, the weather is just right. We welcome to the Liberty Bowl, where tonight the undefeated Orlando Rage tries to vent its fury on the Memphis Maniax. Let's scramble for the ball. The team that wins it gets a choice of possession in the first half, and if necessary, in overtime. The scene here in Memphis with the weather good, the fans have come out, the painted faces are ready. It's a big one for Memphis. They are 0-2 at home. They are 2-0 on the road.
They unlocked the doors to the asylum, and there's some crazy ones out tonight.
Scrambling for Orlando with a record of 2-1, it's Scott Cloman. He is a fast fellow. Scotty.
Okay, gentlemen, these are your instructions.
And scrambling for Memphis, he is a Carl Lewis wannabe. His name is Kevin Cobb. He is 0-3.
Whoever secures possession of that ball will have the first choice of options to start the game and the first choice of any option should there be an overtime. Any questions? Put your helmets on. Come on. Right on both sides of me. On my whistle.
There they go.
It's a fight. Hey, oh, it's still alive.
Still loose.
Still alive.
Oh, he's got a hold of him. He's got him in a figure 4 leg lock.
I used to play that game when I was on the playground too. Take that.
And Cloman said, eat my dust. He had his leg. He had his leg.
Coming right at you, right in the middle of the face. Ball squirts out right there. He grabbed his leg. You won't let him go. I played that game before.
A Brian Bosworth maneuver. 50 degrees. It is cloudy, but we have no rain, no snow. It is just another day at the beach here in Memphis. Hi, everybody. Along with Brian Bosworth, I'm Chris Marlowe. Only one team in the XFL has a chance now to go undefeated. It is Orlando. The Rage is 4-0, trying to go to 5-0 tonight. Kind of a chance, realistically, does the Rage have to go undefeated this year?
That is a tall mountain to climb, because every week you win, the pressure starts to build, and all your opponents want to knock you off that mountain. My only advice to Orlando is to take it one game at a time and don't worry about the record.
Orlando is the highest scoring team in the XFL, averaging 26 points a game. Their leader is a tough guy, Jeff Brohm. He's out of Louisville. A couple of weeks ago, after a good start, he got hurt. Run down from behind on this play. He injured his elbow. It's swelled up into a balloon. It's coming down now, and he's hoping for better things.
Well, I think we started off real hot at the beginning of the season with 4 touchdown passes and some big plays in that game. And I think since then we've kind of declined. We haven't been throwing the ball quite as much and haven't been throwing it downfield like we want to, and haven't been making near as many big plays. So we got to get that going.
Jeff's going to wear an elbow pad tonight to help protect that thing. But I tell you what, look for the Maniacs to take a few shots at that, especially Shante Carver, to see if it holds up tonight.
Orlando coach Galen Hall, he has heard the undefeated hype, but he's not buying the buzz, Boz.
He ain't buying it. You know why? Because the head coach's job is to keep the distractions away from his team. All they have to do is continue to win, keep playing well, and they got a shot at winning the big one at the end of the season.
Meanwhile, Memphis has one of the best 1-2 punches in the XFL. Quarterback Jim Druckenmiller and running back Rashawn Salam. Last week, in rainy conditions in Los Angeles, Jim Druckenmiller put up good numbers, 13, 22, 215, a touchdown, 1 meaningless interception. He was brilliant, able to roll out, able to find his receivers, throwing spirals, getting the job done. But perhaps most importantly, Boz, he took charge in the huddle.
Kill him, you're killing him. You're killing him, guys. Keep it going. Let's go.
I think this week we have to establish a pass again, a deep threat, maybe get them on their heels, and open up the running game for Rashawn.
The running game last week was open for Rashawn Salam. He was brilliant, Boz.
Absolutely, and that's the key to the Maniac's success, is keeping him running. He splashed, he dove, he swam, he did the backstroke, he did everything he had to do, and they brought home a victory, a very important victory for Maniacs.
Rashawn Salam, the XFL Offensive Player of the Week a week ago. First week he was good. Second 2 weeks he didn't get 100 yards. Last week good. The question, can he put 2 consistent performances together back to back? Now this week, head coach Kippy Brown for the Memphis Maniax said, our biggest problem is discipline. And Boz, this is a subject that you know a lot about.
Absolutely. I'm a very disciplined man. And of the 230 plays that Memphis has run offensively, 51 of them have been problems. Either a fumble, an interception, or a penalty. That's what's killing him.
And you look at the turnover margin, Orlando +3. That is pretty good. But Memphis -5, last in the XFL. That's a problem, boss.
That's the difference between being 4-0 and 2-2.
All right, we're set, ready to kick off. Orlando, of course, won the scramble using the figure four leg lock. And Orlando is going to receive. Kicking off is Jeff Hall and Brian Shea. The kid from Emporia State is deep. Primetime football on UPN. Here we go. Taken by one of the up men. And that is Mike Black, and he gets a short return. And here comes Jeff Brohm.
Here we go. Z1 trips, 15 on one. Ready?
All right, sounds like a pass.
D1 trips 15. That's their base running play.
Rip.
A 15-16 running play. That's their base running play out of this formation.
The handoff is to Derek Clark. Clark, the workhorse in this offense. 6'1", 235 from Evangel College.
That's where to start that bit, baby.
Jeff Brohm had 4 touchdowns
15
in week 1. He's only had 2 since. He's been in a little bit of a slump.
You know what? He does just enough to win the football games. He does not enough to lose it. So that's exactly what you want your quarterback to do.
2nd and 3. First pass for Jeff Brohm. He's pressured, and down he goes. The Memphis Maniax, folks. The XFL's #1 team against the rush, 3rd in the entire league in total defense.
You know what? After last night's performance in New York by LA.
Okay, tack that on to the...
A little too aggressive there on the Maniacs part. Shante Carver came in off the side. Now, I tell you what, Shante Carver has been playing possessed all year long.
Incidental face mask, defense number 78. By rule, it's a 5-yard penalty. However, the ball must go back to the original line of scrimmage. Replay, 2nd down.
Okay, Shante Carver receding for the penalty. Shante, 29 years old, originally from Stockton, California, longtime member of the Dallas Cowboys and one of the meanest members in the XFL.
You know, he was coached by a good friend of mine, John Blake. He said he was an absolute maniac when he was playing because he just comes at 100 miles an hour every time he's playing.
Go! Set, hut!
Little swing pass and bottled up immediately. There's a loose football. Clark lost the football.
Maniacs got that.
Crazy guys do have it, boss.
That's exactly what they need early on this game. Get a turnover in your favor. That's something they haven't had.
Patrick Sapp coming up with it, Boz. Patrick Sapp making the recovery, number 94. 2 years with the Chargers. And he comes up with the game's first big play.
Little swing pass here. Richard Hogans does a great job. He comes in, and Cornell Menifee pulls that ball out of there. You do what you do. You got to get one guy holding him up, another guy stripping that football. That's something that Kippy said that they've been working on all week long. He's stripping that football.
So the Memphis Maniacs, terrific field position, trying to take advantage of the turnover. Druckenmiller has time. Now he's flushed from the pocket. Druck will run. And Druck is upended out of bounds. Jim Druckenmiller, 6'4", 235 pounds out of Virginia Tech.
Okay, here you go.
The Druck making his 2nd start in the XFL, the former first-round draft choice from the San Francisco 49ers. Everybody thought he was going to be the next Steve Young. And here he's replacing the injured Marcus Crandall.
Right, balls ghost on 1. Ready, break. Alert, runner, spot. Shoot.
So 6 yards.
Take green 80. Green 80.
6 yards on the Druck scramble. Rashaan Salam straight up the middle, and he's going to be very close to the first down. Rashaan Salam, the leading rusher in the XFL. Tackled by Corey Juilliard. Druckenmiller, his girlfriend, Julie Cialini, Breaking news this week that Julie Cialini and Jim Druckenmiller no longer an item, boss. What does that mean to you?
That means Druck's back on the market. And the Playboy Bunny's in the back seat, maybe the trunk.
Mike's 58. Say blue 80.
Back under, Kelly.
Blue 80.
Druckenmiller faked the ball to Salam. Druck throws on the run, pass caught. Kevin Prentice, 5'7", 155-pounder from Mississippi State.
You know, that's a great job by Prentice outside. He finds a little pocket over there in the corner off the 5-yard line, but Prentice playing huge for a little guy. Once you say back outside the zone, does a good job of making the catch and getting out of bounds.
Last week you ridiculed him for being too small, and then Harry Boatswain backed you down over at the asylum and told you to cut it out.
Maybe I should lie and say he's 6'9".
And off right up the middle, Rashaan Salam, touchdown. He's in. Rashaan Salam.
Rashaan Salam doing a great job. I'll tell you what, who did a better job is Earl Scott. Harry Boatswain right up the middle.
Don't kiss up to Harry now after he backed you down at practice.
He didn't back me down. You know why? That's because as soon as I told him what I ain't crossing one of my brethren, he backed down. That's a great job inside blocking. It's a better job of reaching that ball over the goal line, getting 6 points early here for Memphis.
All right, the Memphis Maniax trying to punch in the extra point.
Black right 11. Black right 11.
Druckenmiller a throw for it, and it's incomplete. Not sure who the pass was intended for. There were two receivers there. Jordan was one of them. Hobbs was the other.
It looked like a little miscommunication down there in the slot receiver with Hobbs.
So Kippy Brown, knowing his team usually needs every point to secure a victory.
Yeah, I would want one.
His team leads early, 4 plays, 24 yards. Salam, a 5-yard run. You think these guys are having a blast? Wait till you see WWF Smackdown. 2 hours of all new action every Thursday night. The #1 show on UPN, Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Memphis is 2-2. Memphis won its opening game 24-22 on the road. Lost to Las Vegas 25-3. Lost to San Francisco 13-6. Both of those here at the Liberty Bowl, and then won last week in the rain and slop 18-12 over Los Angeles. Completely different Los Angeles team last night, Boz, the one we saw in the NBC primetime game.
No question, you got to look at that rain as probably one of the biggest factors. But LA has got so many weapons, as does this Orlando Rage team. You know, you look at it and you go, where do you start? You hit your outside receivers. You got the 3 running backs. They got so many weapons over there. It's tough to game plan against this Orlando Rage team.
Rashaan Salam, you saw him. Off to a good start. Brian Shea at the 5. Brian Shea straight up the middle. And he runs it out to the 25. Derek Clark is an interesting guy. He has his tongue pierced. But interestingly, he almost knocked out a couple of his teeth when he was chewing on a pork chop sandwich. And that piercing actually broke one of his teeth, Boz. He thought it was just a piece of that pork chop, and he kept right on going. He saw Ricky Williams, the former Heisman Trophy winner, with one of those things in his tongue and decided to emulate it.
I don't know how he breathes when he's running with that thing on. That's how he breathes.
There he goes. He tongues his way to the 50. There he goes. Derek Clark.
And I tell you what, that's a shock because this Maniacs rushing defense is first in the XFL, only giving up 60 yards per game.
19-yard gain for Derek Clark.
Did a good job of finding a hole, getting up inside. That's a good job for that offensive line there. Sean Love, the big-haired guy from Penn State who let his hair start growing as soon as he graduated from Joe Pa's University.
Clark is the Rage's leading rusher. They go by committee, so Mike Black is in now. You'll see Brian Shea in the backfield also. Jeff Brohm with time, throws, and the pass is blocked down.
And this crowd's into it tonight, man. You can really feel it.
It was, well, in volleyball, they call that a big block, Boz. Shante Carver.
Shante Carver. I mean, he's played huge really all year for this Memphis Maniac football team.
Shante Carver.
Had a huge interception. You remember that interception last week? Well, that was huge.
Super Bowl ring in 1995 with Dallas. 6-0 Memphis. Opening quarter on UPN. Mike Black remains the running back.
Go! Set!
Brohm on a bounce. Incomplete. Pass incomplete. He was looking for Diallo Burks.
Hey, what are you looking at, ref?
Of course, Shante Carver, one of the premier players in the XFL. Last week, Boz, he had a terrific game. And one of the best interceptions you will see, an athletic move. He scooped it out of the air, tucked it in. Shante Carver making the interception, and it's something that he remembers fondly, Boz.
I've never had an interception in pro ball, so it was exciting to me. I kept the ball, took it home, sitting up there on my little mantle, and I get to look at it.
You can see how excited he is about his first career interception. Jeff Brohm throwing long. Out there is Bailey, and it's incomplete. Mario Bailey covered very closely by Rico Clark. Also there, Jackie Kellogg.
That Brohm had to throw that off his back foot. If he was able to step up, there's a flag down. If he's able to step up and get all he had into that throw, he would have been able to get this ball to Mario Bailey.
Yeah, that's definitely underthrown. Do you think that's a result of his elbow, Boz?
Well, we talked to him yesterday, and he said one of the things that affects him with that elbow pad and the fact that bursa sack is broken is the zip throws, which are the throws he really needs to get a lot of mustard on. And right there, he could have used little Goulden's spicy mustard on that one.
All right, we had a roughing the passer penalty, which is going to aid Orlando. Automatic first down. Let's take a look at it.
Arvin Thomas comes up inside here, gets a little bit. You got to let him go like that. You got to let him go like that. And I talked about it again in the show. They're going to take a shot on Jeff as often as they can.
First down, Orlando Rage. Derek Clark back in. Pass caught. Breaking away is Diallo Burks, and Burks takes it to the 10.
John Williams took a shot there, took the risk. And if you're going to come up inside like that, you either got to get your hand on the ball or make the interception. But you can't just let it go by like that.
21 yards on the play.
And this ball had plenty of zip on it. He's just got to make that play because he doesn't have any help helping him from the backside there. He's all by himself on the corner.
Marcus Wimberly just activated this week. Kevin Peoples out with a broken leg. Anthony Marshall out with a dislocated shoulder. And the ball to Clark straight up the middle, and he pulls his way down to the 2. And not a lot of flash and flare for this Orlando running game, Boz.
No, it's not. You know why? Because they have 3 different backs. They got a small, medium, and large. Brian Shea, the small guy. Michael Black, the medium guy. And Derek Clark, when they need the big plays and the big yards.
First down, ready?
When they need the big plays and the big yards, they go to the big bruiser, Derek Clark.
Tag!
Second and goal at the 2. Here comes Clark, and Clark slides his way. I don't think he's in. He thought he was in, but his knee skidded at about the 1. Derek Clark is the Rage's leading rusher with just about 200 yards. Good call. He was down.
0 heavy. You're in heavy. 14 lead.
10-0, 14 lead. On one, ready?
We're going to just run a power play, 14 lead, right up the middle. Strong side. They're going to run to the right-hand side of the formation.
Big play here. 3rd and goal for the Rays. Derek Clark, he's into the end zone. He lost the football. Now they're going to give him the touchdown. It's a touchdown.
You break the plane to the goal line, it's a touchdown. You can spike it, let it go. You can do some spins with it. As long as you break the plane, it counts as 6.
You can eat it, you can bake it, as long as you're in the end zone.
You can shake it, you can make it, you can do anything you want to it, baby.
What's up, APK?
Derek Clark's 5th touchdown this year.
It's just too much meat to stop.
Oh, yeah. Definitely out after he had crossed the plane of the goal.
And the key to Orlando's success all year long has been their massive, aggressive offensive line.
Go!
On extra points this year, Orlando, 39%. Jeff Brohm looking for 1. He's on the roll. He's under pressure. Throws back the other way. Incomplete. Oh, Mike Black should have had that one. It was on his fingertips. He could not bring it in.
Showtime, they're opening up some holes for you out there. It looks like you have free reign.
Oh, yeah, we're doing a great job right now. We just trying to stick with our game plan and keep working hard and try to come out with a victory.
How's that piercing?
Oh, it's great.
All right. Derek Clark spearheads the drive. That was James Roberson doing his best Brian Bosworth imitation, dominating the field. Former Florida State star.
He's just a farmer planting corn. Unfortunately, the seed is the quarterback.
Jay Taylor to kick it off, 6-6. We're at the Liberty Bowl. High, end over end. Kevin Cobb. Reverses field. Can he get around his man?
I don't think so.
No, he cannot. And he gets back to maybe the 17. The tackle by Corey Gilliard. Hey, speaking of hits, there's Gary and Mike, stars of UPN's new smash comedy on Friday night, Gary and Mike. Enjoying the game, guys?
It's awesome!
It's like you're right on top of the action.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Let's see that again. Ooh, what an arm this guy's got. He put enough zip on that ball to shatter Gary's glasses and give Mike whiplash before knocking them both unconscious. No question about it. That's our play of the game.
I love that.
Mike's 58.
Jim Druckenmiller last week gave himself a B-. Said he missed a couple of reads, threw one behind. His coach, Kippy Brown, gave him an A-. Let's see what he does on first down. Throws a nice ball, but it's short. Pass intended for Kevin Prentice. It looks like Druckenmiller and Prentice. That's the combination now. He feels comfortable throwing to Kevin.
Right, Kevin made a lot of big catches last week, and you're going to go to the guy who makes the big catches for you. He's just got to get that ball up. I think he's playing a little tight right now.
Doesn't look like he's just whipping it, Boss. He's guiding it.
He's just not letting it go. And I've seen that rock come out of his arm, and man, it's a missile.
Saw the numbers on Prentice, one of the top receivers in the league. Draw play, Rashawn Salam breaks through a hole, sidesteps a man, Rashawn Salam. And Salam takes it out near the 25 before Corey Gilliard comes up. 7 yards for Rashawn.
Quarterback draw right. Here we go, fellas. Right gun. Quarterback draw right. Alert black 11 double count. Ready, break.
You know, those naysayers that say Druckenmiller can't run. He ran down in the last series. You're about to see him take off and run here again.
3rd and 3.
Set. Blue 80. Blue 80.
And there's a marker down. The play is dead. Druckenmiller's going to run it anyway. Well, he's gotten the first down. Boy, that flag was thrown a good 2 seconds before that play started. Patrice Alexander making the call, and apparently the ref put the flag back after a 12-yard gain.
I mean, don't forget, Jim Druckenmiller, 6'4", 236, but he tells me he's one step faster than the guy that's chasing him. So obviously that's fast enough.
Druckenmiller, he's carried the ball 2 times for 18 yards. Maniax first down. Looks like a reverse. No, they fake it. And there's Rashawn Salam. Rashawn Salam. The ball was loose. Let's see, it was after he was down. It was not. Salam coughed it up. And the Maniacs' first turnover.
And that's been the knock on Rashawn Salam, because they said he's a fumble-holic, and unfortunately he's been falling off the wagon way too many times today.
Reginald Doster came up with it. 24-year-old out of Central Florida. That is the 11th.
Okay, now you got another chance, okay? Hey, look here, put it away. You're running hard, put it away.
11th turnover in the last 3 games. You can't cover our cameras. You can only hope to contain them. Orlando Ball. First down. Mike Black. You see the problems the Maniacs have had. They move the ball up and down the field so easily, boss, but then they're done in by the turnover.
That's the mental mistake. You know, the mental mistakes are what's been killing the Memphis Maniacs all year long. They have moved the ball, like you said, Chris. Unfortunately, they've got to be able to hang on to balls. There's no reason for that ball right there to come out. He's got to secure that ball. And Kippy told us yesterday they've been working on the gauntlet drills and the strip drills. Obviously, they need to work on a little bit more with Rashawn.
His 4th fumble this season, and that is not good. 2nd and 6 for the Rage. Rage keep it on the ground. Running hard is Michael Black. He's out of Washington State. Led the Pac-10 in rushing 1 year.
And it's interesting when you watch Orlando's running game, and Orlando leads the league in rushing. They spread the defense out with the passing offense personnel, and then they use the 3 different backs with Michael Black, in this case, Darren Clark in the previous series, and then they'll bring Brian Shea in that'll just drive you crazy because he's a small guy with a lot of power.
First quarter, 6-6.
Go! Set, hut, hut!
And that was a good hard count that drew Leonte Reams offside.
See, that just doesn't make any sense to me. You're right there next to the ball, and you can't see the ball not move, and you're still jumping offside.
Defense number 92.
That's incredible to me.
You know what I say, Boz, though? If you're going to encroach, tee off on the guy. Take him out of the game and get through there in ramming speed.
Then it's encroachment, and then it's personal foul, and you're already in your negative field position here. You can't do that. That wouldn't be a good thing at all.
Hippie Brown, first year as head coach. He was a quarterback at Memphis State back in the 70s, one of the first black quarterbacks to play college football, and he calls all the plays for the Memphis offense. Running play, James Black. Michael Black, I should say.
Now remember, he's the medium of this trio. You know, we talked to Galen Hall yesterday, and Galen said, when I asked him, who's your most dangerous receiver out of the backfield, he said, Michael Black. So I went back and looked at my stats. Michael Black hasn't even caught a pass yet.
He's dangerous as a decoy.
As a decoy, yes.
Orlando averaging nearly 7 yards a rush on the XFL's #1 defensive team against the rush. They're chewing them up, folks. Black again. And he drags Patrick Sapp for about 3.
No, they're getting close to the red zone, or what I should call the rage zone. And they've been so successful in the rage, so they've had 10 possessions, 8 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and 1 fumble.
The front 7 for Memphis: Cornell Menifee, Shante Carver, Richard Hogans, TJ Fryer, Paul Lacoste, Marvin Thomas, and Patrick Sapp. They're being handled right now.
They brought Brian Shea in now.
Timeout.
A timeout is called. Timeout on the field here in Memphis, Tennessee. The Maniacs call their first. 1:46 remaining here in the first quarter. Maniacs 6, Rage 6.
He's got to get control of this game.
Shante Carver upset last week.
And he should have been upset at you.
Well, no, wait a second. He was upset because you called him the wrong name.
No.
You, Brian Bosworth, and he had a few words for you, Boz.
Hey, Mr. Bosworth, stop calling me Shaka Zulu. It's Shaka. I wouldn't call you Boz Bo after Bo Jackson. Remember that guy who ran you over, played for Oakland Raiders? So get the name straight. Thanks.
Yeah, Boz. You get the names right, would you?
I called him Shaka Khan. You called him Shaka Zulu.
I know, but you led me into it.
With Shaka Khan, because she's that big-haired woman, right?
Go! He's mad, Boz. Let's just not do it again.
You know what? If it works tonight, here he comes.
Brohm over the middle, and he is hammered. Marcus Wimberly came up and delivered the hit on Diallo Burks.
Marcus Wimberly clocked him. You know, Marcus Wimberly is replacing 2 of the safeties that got hurt. Last week they lost Kevin Peoples. They also lost Anthony Marshall. And this week they had to replace him with Marcus Kimberly and Trey Thomas. So
the Maniacs, as we've mentioned, the #1 team against the rush in the XFL. Look at the season.
Giving it up.
They've already exceeded their season average here in the first quarter.
But they're playing against the #1 rushing offense in the XFL too, with his Orlando Rage.
3rd and 8, Bailey in motion. Brohm throwing it into the end zone. He caught it. No signal, touchdown.
And Jeff Brohm paid the price for that one. He's still down.
Mario Bailey.
He's out.
And Shante Carver leveled him.
I think you look at his head. It's like twisted. I hope he's okay. Somebody help him.
Yeah. If you're wondering, there is no flag on the field.
No, that was a clean hit. He just took all of it. On Shante Carver came in and just cleaned his clock. Oh my God, he just downloaded some serious hardware on him. I mean, listen to this.
Oh. Shaka delivering.
You know what? He saw that piece, and Jeff Brohm paid the price.
It was a 23-yard touchdown pass. The hit administered by that man, Shante Carver. Mario Bailey caught it, and Jeff Brohm remains down.
You got to be real concerned right now with Jeff Brohm because he has not even moved yet.
So they'll be very careful here as the Orlando training staff is out there. Brohm shaken up. The backup quarterback for Orlando is Brian Kuklick. He's 6'3", 205, a 24-year-older out of Wake Forest. Big arm and a good backup.
Yet to take a snap this year.
If Brohm cannot continue, then Galen Hall will go to Kuklick.
Yeah, knocked out.
One more look in real time, folks, what it feels like to be a quarterback and take a huge hit.
You can really appreciate what these guys go through. A great pass. He did a great job of getting the ball down the field, but man. I mean, this is a perfect play for a defensive lineman because that's the hit that they're looking for every single time they get out on the football field, but you hate to see it happen because bottom line, that hurts, man, and that hurts way more than it looks.
You know, at the top of the show, we talked about Jeff Brohm, the tough guy. He was able to stand in and unload. So they'll continue to work on Jeff Brohm. We're going to take a short break. The U.S. Army proud to present Victories in Life. Tonight we look at Los Angeles kicker Jose Cortez.
The whole XFL experience just started when I was on the roof back in Corvallis. I was working as a roofer for my fiance's uncle who owns a roofing company. So that's when I was working on the roof when I got the phone call from Coach Luganville, and he told me that they drafted me. I was going to come back and play in L.A.
He can't make it. Let's don't kick it.
I watched the news, and that's when I heard what Tommy Matters said about me when I missed the field goal. I mean, it made me kind of upset, about it, but at the same time, I came back during that week and I worked harder, and trying to prove him and everybody else that I was capable of playing for the XFL.
Jose Cortez, can he do it? The kick, it's good! LA has beaten the Outlaws!
I'd rather be playing football than being on the roof, basically.
Back in Memphis, Tennessee, Orlando leading Memphis 12-6. The concern is for Orlando quarterback Jeff Brohm. Took a vicious but apparently clean hit from Shante Carver. We have seen a little bit movement in his legs. We saw him move an arm. But just moments ago, Shante Carver came over. He was concerned. And
all the players,
that is Jim Druckenmiller concerned also. So
okay, guys, too early to speculate exactly what the problem is. It does seem to be a head or neck injury. He did say right now his head is killing him. He does have feeling in all extremities, so there's no concern there. That was a big hit. But to show you how tough a guy Jeff Brohm is, he was begging them, please, just try and help me to stand up. I'll walk off the field. I don't want to go off on a stretcher. But they said, you know what, Jeff, we cannot let you get up. You're too injured. We can't even get your helmet off here right now. He does have a little bit of blood underneath his chin from the shot, but as the referees, I just talked to a moment ago, said it was a clean hit, but Brohm is definitely in a lot of pain right now. But the big thing is he does have feeling in all his extremities. We'll follow him in. We'll get more to you in just a couple of minutes.
You want to say a prayer for Jeff Brohm, please do it now, because I tell you what, those are the kind of hits that scare you to death as a player, as a fan, as a parent at home. This game is violent, and they're out here, they're playing it to win it, but you know what? That's just one of those things you just, as a player that's receiving that, or as a player that gives that, that's the worst feeling in the world when you are the guy who actually delivered a blow like that. And I know Shante, he's playing hard for his team, but that's tough. He's going to have to deal with that. And it was great that he came over, and I think Jeff got a chance to see him.
Jeff's father, Oscar, was a tough quarterback. Recruited to Alabama when they were recruiting another quarterback. way back when. They took Joe Namath, so Oscar went to Louisville, where he had a terrific career. So Jeff Brohm comes from tough stock. And what a play he made after getting drilled, throwing a strike to Mario Bailey. So Brohm, we're going to keep you updated, of course, on his condition. And all the players, blue and white, happy to see him go off and to know that...
it's funny, at the beginning of the season, Orlando was the first team that I scouted. And,
here we go. 6-0.
Galen Hall said that they didn't really have a leader. Jeff Brohm is the leader of that team, and he just left the field.
All right, Brian Kuklick takes the controls. He threw for over 8,000 yards at Wake Forest, 40 touchdowns. This guy is a good player, but he's going to start with a running play. How will this injury affect both teams, Boz? Quick.
Well, I think what you're going to end up finding now is Brian Kuklick has got to get warmed up, and he's got to get in the rhythm quick. I think you just keep on going status quo. Keep your running game going. Brian Kuklick's got an awesome arm, so I think you don't change the game plan whatsoever.
All right. Timeout on the field. 12-6 our score. You're watching XFL football on UPN.
Dante Carver, who put the hit on Jeff Brohm. What goes through your mind when you put a hit on like that? Lay someone out?
I'm just trying to play football as hard as I can, I don't stop until the whistle's blown. It was a legal hit. I caught him in the right spot. I'm just glad he's all right.
It was a clean hit. How much does it affect your game, if at all?
In fact, I'm in this to win it. I'm playing football. Football is a brutal sport. Everyone knows that. It's either kill or be killed.
Said like a gladiator, and I know down deep inside, he doesn't want to break away from where he is right now, because right now he's in his zone. When you put the hat on and you cross the line, you're a different person. And every defensive player and some offensive players, when they cross over that line and they're looking through that cage, they are a different animal than they are when they're not on the field.
Jay Taylor to kick off with a rage, leading the Maniacs 12-6. Here's Kevin Cobb, and Cobb upended outside the 30. Now, courtesy of Bud Light, let's take a look at our highlight package.
He's looking in, zone firing. Murphy, touchdown! And Murphy, son, it's Whalen. He's down. Touchdown, Chicago! You run here, we thought we get another playoff, Bob.
That, of course, was earlier today, Las Vegas and Chicago, and Las Vegas proving that they certainly have one of the great teams in the league.
Question about it. You're going to see them next week on NBC against this Orlando Rage team, and that's going to be a war, because those teams, I can tell you right now, on the first snap, they're not going to like each other. Memphis has got to come back, and they've got to get back into the rhythm of this. That energy caused the law. Now they're going to pick up the pace and the intensity here.
2nd and 8. Druckenmiller, quick drop, throws, pass complete to Prentice. He's got the first down, and he steps out of bounds. Kevin Prentice is 5'7", but he's taller than everybody else in his family. So he's the big man as he gets the first down. We're coming back. That's the end of the first quarter. 12-6, Rage.
I teach students to set goals, plan their days, and take responsibility for their actions in a junior achievement program called Success Now. Teaching these classes has given me the opportunity to prepare for my career. You see, when I was in 11th grade, I absolutely fell in love with mathematics. I recently graduated with honors from the University of Memphis. I want to teach high school math. I bet you've never had a high school math teacher who was also a Memphis Maniax cheerleader.
She is a sweetie. Let me give you the names of the other cheerleaders. Alicia, Patricia, Nakisha, Lucretia, Taisha, Trimisha, and the one with the big hair, Propecia. Pass into the ground. Good pressure that time by Orlando, Andre Purvis.
And that's exactly what Orlando has to do today if they want to win this game. They got to slow slow Salam down, and they've done a fairly decent job of that so far, but they got to get some pressure on Druckenmiller. They got to get the Maniacs to drive the long field and force some turnovers here.
Mike's 58. Riggin. Same blue 80. Liggin swap. Blue 80.
On second down, Druck picks up Prentice. And the little guy jitterbugs near the first down. Patrice Alexander, Omar Brown corralling him.
Kevin did a nice job of just coming over the middle. And what they do, Orlando drops their linebackers very, very deep. So there's a little pocket about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and that's where Druck found Prentice right there. Now, the way you're going to get Orlando to come up and get that pocket back behind the linebackers is to start dumping that off to Rashawn Salam and get him involved in the passing game.
They're going to measure for the first down.
If not, we'll go belly right boss.
They're going to go belly right boss if they don't have this on a first down, which is the belly play right up the middle.
No problem.
Okay, got a report here from the locker room. He does have a concussion. He's also suffering from some pain in the back of his neck. They've just taken some x-rays. X-rays are negative. They're going to take him to Memphis Methodist just to make sure. They got to cut the pads off, take clearer pictures so they can get a better assessment of any type of damage that may lurk. His parents, Oscar and Donna, are here watching over him. Jeff just spoke to them and said, folks, don't worry, I'm fine. Please do me a favor. Just call my wife and tell her that I'm okay.
All right, good news.
Again, spoken like a gladiator.
Yeah, good news for Jeff Brohm, the starting quarterback, knocked out minutes ago. Druckenmiller's going to throw long. And jostling on the sidelines, Kevin Prentice battling with Stephen Fisher.
Incidental contact over there. That was an uncatchable ball anyway, even if they had committed a little interference on the field.
Regular.
Stephen Fisher leads the Orlando Raids with 3 interceptions. He's the guy who really takes charge out there in their defensive secondary.
Power left on one. Ready, break.
I left power left. There's a running play to the left-hand side here.
Mike's 58.
They'll try to get Rashawn back into this flow of running the ball again.
Green 80.
Rashawn Salam. And he bangs for about 4. I believe he's yelling at Roundtree.
I think he's a little bit concerned about his weight. Said something about he's going to diet or something. Something about his Keishner or derriere.
Face right, 080 smash. All right, here we go. Let's go, Dolphin right, gun zip. Deep face right, 080 smash on one. Ready, break. Shotgun.
Part of that offensive line, Bernard Williams, Glenn Roundtree, Mike Sheldon,
Mike's 56.
Jesse James, Harry Boatswain.
Blue 80.
3rd and 8.
Blue 80.
Druckenmiller guns it over the middle, pass complete. There goes Charles Jordan, touchdown Maniacs.
What a strike! And he threw that exactly where he needed to throw that ball too. He had to throw that ball behind Charles Jordan just a little bit because he had double coverage of safety hanging in the middle, and Charles did a great job of stopping, coming back, getting the reception, and then racing another 20 yards for the 6.
Jordan beat Stephen Fisher. Druckenmiller put it on the money. 44-yard strike. And the Maniacs have tied it up. All important extra point coming up.
Mike's 58. Mike's 58.
To take the lead. Rashawn Salam. He's driving. He's powering. Did he make it?
You can't see that?
Yeah, he's there.
There you go. I can call it from up here. When you're running behind Big Earl Scott and Big Harry Boatswain and you can't get 2 yards, something's wrong. And right now, everything's right with the Maniacs offense right there. It's a great series. They drove a long way, which is exactly what they haven't done all year long.
Rashawn Salam.
Just keep coming, keep pushing, keep driving, keep doing what you got to do to get that point, that all-important extra point.
his first touchdown this year.
Oh, yeah.
Along with Brian Bosworth, Michael Barkan, and Chris Raggy, I'm Chris Marlowe. Welcome to Memphis, Tennessee. We have a terrific game underway. The Memphis Maniax at home trying to win their first game of the year here at the Liberty Bowl. Lead it 13-12. Each team has had the ball 3 times. We've had 2 touchdowns scored by each squad. Jeff Brohm, the starting quarterback for Orlando, carried off. He's been taken to the hospital as Brian Shea brings the ball out to the 36-yard line, a 30-yard return. Diallo Burks is a terrific player, a movie buff who likes all kinds of films. When he wants to get fired up, though, he watches this one particular one.
My favorite movie before the game is Rudy. I really identify with this character. He's a hard worker, and he had to work for everything that he got. That's what my career has mostly been like. I had to fight for everything that I've gotten. Nothing has been given to me, and I love his character, and whatever I do in life, I feel like I can relate back to that movie because I have to work for it.
The short pass complete to Mario Bailey. He's tackled by Shante Carver. So Diallo Burks, Mario Bailey and company, they need to crank it up, Boz.
And Galen Hall's doing exactly the right thing by getting Brian Kuklick involved in the passing game right away. Diallo Burks is going to be one of the big guys right now, and Brian Kuklick, if he can get the ball to Diallo Burks, he's the money guy on the team and the big receivers. He's got 15 catches with 3 touchdowns, so he's got to help light the fire with Jeff Brohm being injured.
14 yards on that last play. Here's Derek Clark. He's a big body, kind of a nasty banger, likes to pound you.
And he's definitely a battle-tested bruiser for Hall. Played for Hall over in Europe, so much so, you know, Derek's grandmother, who really raised him, died unfortunately last year.
2-1-2, why not?
Derek made 2 phone calls. First to 911 for help, the second one to Galen Hall. So I know a lot of closeness with this team, and you can feel it. And the good thing about this team is they're very unselfish, and that's why one of the reasons they're 4-0. They really care a lot about each other.
You know one thing too, when you talk about Galen Hall, he's one of the most organized coaches in the league. He's got this stuff down, being the head coach.
No question. He's been with some of the greatest. Great guy back in Oklahoma, Barry Switzer. Knows how to win. He's been winning big time his whole career. Going for his 100th victory here pretty quick.
2nd and 6. Kuklick. Got a man. Diallo Burks. He dropped it.
And dropped that. He was looking for the end zone before he had the ball in his hand. But boy, he wish he had that one back.
You know, I'll tell you what, though. Devil's advocate, Kuklick's got to lead him a little. He's got to look back, catch that by his ankles. That wasn't right there for him.
You're right. It'd be nice if he laid that out for him. He could hit that in full stride. But I tell you what, Brian Kuklick, and this is one of the things that Coach Hall says about Brian Kuklick, is he doesn't trust his arm on the short throws. He trusts his arm too much on the long throw. That right there is an intermediate throw. He's just got to let that one go. Let Diallo's speed catch up to the ball and bring 6 in for the Orlando Rage.
Maniac fans love that last play. 3rd and 6 for the Rage.
Here comes Shante.
Throwing on a bounce was Kuklick. So Kuklick not quite warmed up yet, not in rhythm yet with his receivers. Pass was intended for Bailey.
You got to remember, Brian Kuklick hasn't seen any action at all this year. Orlando has only seen 1 quarterback in the huddle, and that's been Jeff Brohm. And it's going to take Brian Kuklick a few series to get acclimated to what it's like to be out there in the field, getting chased.
Boz, I've got a scoop for you. Listen close. The game's first punt is coming your way.
All right, well, here it is.
Charles Jordan is deep.
Ball gets down to 21-yard line. This is a live ball. Kicks it straight up in the air.
That's a beauty. He's got to bring it back. Jordan at the 6. Oh, and he is strangulated at the 6.
Great play by Sean Banks.
Banks got him
on a special team play.
2nd quarter, the Maniacs leading by 1. We'll be back.
Long field to go.
Next week, in a desperate attempt to increase television ratings, the XFL will take you inside the locker room of the Orlando Rage cheerleaders. All right, gentlemen, cool your jets. Let's be professional here. The XFL, NBC next Saturday.
Boz, I hear that they're going to shoot them. They will be naked, but there will be heads attached, so it is going to be done with taste.
How can you say that's going to be done with taste? I tell you, I want to meet the lucky cameraman that gets to go in there because they're going to dilate his eyes with that stuff that makes everything overexposed.
I think that's something that could catch on. That's next week, NBC primetime. Las Vegas at Orlando. Rashaan Salaam with the short rush.
The entire Orlando front seven gets the tackle there. Patrice Alexander leading the way. You know, I talked to some of the Orlando players, and they talked about Patrice Alexander, and they talk about hitting him is like hitting a brick wall, or like a wall falling down on you after you hit it.
Stay in, Rick.
It's a bend, don't break defense. They play lots of zone. They try to punish you.
Mike's 58. 25 win. Big 25 win. Sam Blue 80.
Come on, Red.
Blue 80.
Fake the Salaam. Swinging out of the backfield is Jim Kitts. And Kitts makes his way out near the 20.
And that's something that they don't show a lot of.
I got that girl right there. Come on, dog.
Hey, Red, come on. Y'all gotta get your heads in the game, man. Go.
That's Omar Brown telling them they got to get their heads in the game.
Hey, shoot. Stretch. Rick, stretch.
Mike 58. Sam Blue 80.
No. Quick.
Blue 80.
First down play, Rashaan Salaam, his 8th rush. Breaks to the outside. Salaam finally pushed out of bounds by Omar Brown. Brown, the XFL Player of the Week in Week 1. He is a good player.
Let's go. Stay outside, man.
Go, Sean.
Okay, when Salaam holds on to the ball, he is a mighty tough customer.
He's awesome. I mean, the guy's got speed, power. He's just got all the assets that you need.
There he goes again. Dragging number 97, Mark Campbell, with it.
Dude, come here. Okay, here we go. All right, regular. All right. Belly right boss. All right, zip. Belly right boss.
They're trying.
Alert bears now. Alert ride.
They're trying to establish line control and see if they can't grind out this game and keep it at least in their advantage of time of possession, which they've been successful doing this year.
Red 88. Come on. Red 88.
And the ball to Salaam. Hit in the backfield and gets maybe a yard. Tremendous penetration by the Orlando defense. Mark Campbell there.
Yeah, Orlando's showing a 46 or a bear defense when they're bringing Omar Brown up as run support. Now, once you start doing that, Druckenmiller is going to have to see that it's going to be soft in the secondary. That's the time to go ahead and stretch the defense and go deep.
Salaam, 10 carries for 42 yards, a touchdown, but he does have a fumble.
58. Rick. Say green 80. Green 80.
Ruck's got a loud voice, boss. And around, here they come. It's Charles Jordan. And Jordan upended. Wow, what a tackle by Omar Brown. He is a hitter.
He's second on the team with tackles. He's got 25 of them so far, and he makes huge plays at key times. And ain't no more keyer than that right there, because if Darrell Hobbs gets out, Charles Jordan gets past Omar Brown, he can still be running.
Mike's 58.
Got 7 on that play.
25 front. Sit. Spot. Red over. Red over.
Check here. Checking the play.
And he likes Salaam. Salaam through a hole. And he is wrapped up. Now check that. It is Raphael Cooper with his first carry of the night. 25-year-old from Detroit, Michigan. Cooper, a speedster. So Salaam getting a break for a moment.
Mark Campbell sliding down the line of scrimmage. Cooper's doing a good job of finding the hole. Now, one thing that Cooper needs to do is he needs to be more patient and let the hole open up. If it's not there, don't just drive your head into...
No, we can't. Here we go. I right. Let's go. I right. Slide left. Second sound. Ready, quick.
A little confusion there.
Let's go. Here we go. Get up.
Plenty of time to get this play off.
Salaam on the sideline. 7 seconds on the play clock. Cooper trying to get a yard. He's got it. Raphael Cooper. And once again, it's Omar Brohm.
Again, Raphael will just be a little more patient. There's nothing inside. All he has to do is show inside, flash outside, and he's still running. He bangs into the back of his blocker right there. And you heard Druckenmiller tell him, go inside, go. Druckenmiller's being a general on the field right now.
They've gone from the sledgehammer of Salam
Blue 40
to the lightning bug.
Blue 40.
Raphael Cooper. Druckenmiller throws a strike. Prentice tackle immediately. That's going to be very close to the first down. Ricky Bell, who was injured early in the season, back in there now.
He gets his first start after missing the very first game from a foot injury. And Ricky's probably not game ready right now.
He sprained the arch.
I've had sprained arch before. It's tough because as a cornerback, you got to be able to push off. And that means you got to give enough ground, especially playing against Kevin Prentice. They should go ahead and continue to use that matchup to the Maniacs' advantage.
Bend over!
Second and short, chance to go long. No. Keep it on the ground. Cooper breaks to the outside, utilizing the advice of Brian Bosworth, waiting, picking his holes, and then moving.
That's right. And what they're doing is Druckenmiller is seeing that they're stacking, trying to slow down this. I want to hear this play.
They got 14.
They're stacking the line of scrimmage there. Orlando is, and what Memphis is doing is they're checking out of a play and they're going to a weak side run and letting Raphael bounce it to the outside.
Cooper stays in. No relation to DB Cooper, the parachutist. Will they give it to him again? No. Fake. Druckenmiller.
He's open.
Throwing deep into the end zone. Incomplete. Jordan was out there. Boy, you get an idea of the arm strength of Jim Druckenmiller, and they want to call.
I think I want to call on that because just as he was trying to lay out for the ball,
here you go. Let's go, Jim.
He got hooked. Omar Brown hooked him, slowed him down.
Corey Gilliard also there.
Lead draw right. I'm gonna get that next time. Give me a call, see? What's the call?
I don't know. I don't tell you.
Second down. It's the 12th play of the drive. Cooper grinds his way to the 31.
Which is something Memphis hasn't been able to do successfully all year, because usually when they get to play 6, 7, all of a sudden it's a penalty or fumble or an interception. Yeah. Here they're showing some discipline, which is what Kippy needs to get them to do. But the problem is in the first half.
Gun zip. Base right flanker Poco.
Here we go.
In the first half is where their offensive productivity is happening. They need to translate that over in the second half and learn how to cut the throw to their opponents.
Third and 7 here. And we've come to the 2-minute warning.
The 2-minute timing rules are now in effect. Memphis has 2 timeouts left.
We're coming back. The Maniacs lead it 13-12. You're watching primetime football here on UPN. He was a huge star at Oklahoma. Look at those guns, folks. Brian Bosworth, he was a star. He was a maniac, a punishing tackler. But then he evolved into a superior actor, a Shakespearean actor. Look at the moves. Look at the dialogue. What can Brian Bosworth do? The Boz. Hey, Boz, I'm waiting for your next movie to come out. Stone Cold Gets a Hot Foot. I'm ready for that one. That'll be a beauty.
We're going to get Vince to star in the Stone Cold, too, because I know he loves motorcycles. And we're going to blow everything up. Because when you're in an action movie, you just shoot somebody. You just got to shoot them. Shoot them dead.
The Memphis drive is moving. They face a 3rd and 7 now. They're leading 13-12. A 7.5-minute drive. Druckenmiller, and he nearly throws the interception. Druck got that one a little late. The pass intended for Prentice, and Ricky Bell was covering. Ricky Bell, considered the top cornerback before he got injured.
This timing was off
he jumped it.
beginning because of the low snap, and Kevin Prentice came out of his stance too late. That whole play was gonzo before it started.
So it looks like Jeff Hall is going to attempt a field goal. It's going to be a long one, a 49-yarder.
He's been goaled inside the 35-yard line. He struggled outside.
He's 6 of 9. Hall Oh, he's got the distance. Got a meaty portion of it. That's good.
And he got the right part of the meat. The filet. The part that's got no fat in it.
So Kippy Brown says yes. His long this year. Jeff Hall, the former Tennessee star.
They must like the way they kick the balls in Tennessee because they were 45-5 in his career at Tennessee when he was a player there.
The all-time scoring leader in the Southeastern Conference. His kick caps a 14-play drive.
We're getting down in Memphis right now, baby. Everybody's feeling good about 3 points going into the locker room because 4-point lead. Maniacs have had problems in the second half of closing the deal. Kippy loves it. These fans love it. And I know you folks at home are loving it because this is one hell of a game. I know the girls up in this booth are loving it. Just dance a little bit, Marlo.
I'm watching you. You're a big star. They don't want me.
Oh, they want you, dude. They want you.
No, they don't.
They don't want you. Nobody wants you.
Hey, Boz, do you want me to spank your butt again like you did the big one?
Marlo,
okay, there you go. Asa.
How come when we come to Memphis, I feel a little Elvis get inside me,
That's
man.
right.
I feel a little Elvis.
I want to know if we can go into these girls' locker room at halftime. What would you girls think about that? Thumbs up, yes?
Well, I had a few visits in my hotel room without me asking.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that.
The door for no reason at all.
Jeff Hall kicks it deep. Here comes Brian Shea. He's been very good on returns tonight.
He just got tackled.
Shea pulls his way to the 27-yard line, but a marker is down. You think the XFL is raw action? Wait till you see WWF Raw. 2 hours of the edgiest action on TV. Don't miss the #1 show on all of cable tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on TNN. So Jeff Hall has given the Memphis Maniax a 16-12 lead. And now backing up the Orlando Rage.
Now what I do here if I'm Memphis is I try to get a quick 3 and out and get some more points on the board. You got momentum. You're going to play a short field. You got a backup quarterback who's not in his rhythm. Go ahead and stack the line of scrimmage. Play man to man. And see if you can't get them in a 3 and out situation.
Right.
If he just joined us, Jeff Brohm was knocked out of the game on a big hit by Shante Carver in the first quarter. They've since taken him to the hospital with a concussion on the pass over the middle. Incomplete. Kuklick looking for Tony Gator. So the backup, Brian Kuklick. What does it do for the team when the backup comes into the game, Boz? Do you have confidence in him?
No, I know they have confidence in him. That's not the problem. But what you do is you get out of rhythm.
Okay.
The rhythm of your quarterback that you're used to playing with.
8-0, 50 draw.
Now they're just going to run a running play here and see if they can't run out some time and get ground out some yards, get a first down. But the offense is used, just like we talked about Jeff Brohm in the center. Replacing the center now changes the way he feels about his butt.
And stumbling, the Orlando offense, quite frankly, has gone dead in the water since Brohm threw the strike.
I think you got to call timeout here. What are they doing? Call timeout, Kippy. You got 3rd down and long.
Got a timeout on the field, and Memphis took it. So Kippy Brown, more coaches should take your advice, Boz.
Get the ball, kick a field goal, score a touchdown.
I got it. Let me see what happened, Chris. Just relax. Relax. We got it.
Consummate professional. He knows what he's doing.
If you keep yelling at him, you could get into it like Rusty and Jesse.
Hey, Marcus!
No, I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing what he's doing out there because I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Jesse, on the other hand, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Jesse doesn't know what he's talking about.
He knows how to, change $1 into quarters, but he knows nothing about football.
Listen to me now. Come on. If they run and don't get the first down, call timeout.
Kippy Brown in control. 9 years in the NFL, most recently with Green Bay. 12 seasons as a collegiate coach. Crowd is alive. 3rd and 11 here at the Liberty Bowl.
Don't make a stupid mistake here, Memphis.
Blitz coming. Kuklick. He's got a little bit of time. Throws. Pass caught. It's a first down. Tony Gator. And Gator out to the 28-yard line. Brian Kuklick's best pass of the night. 19 yards.
What a gutsy call by Galen Hall. Backed up and you're into the field. trust Brian Kuklick enough to go ahead and sit back there long enough to throw a pass over the middle and get Tony Gator to get that first down. That's a huge play for Orlando.
950 choice! 950 choice! Liz!
Kuklick out of the gun now.
Go!
Whoa. Comes up with it. Fires incomplete. Looking once again for Tony Gator. Marvin Thomas applying the pressure.
Kevin Cott with great coverage. He's actually looked like a Siamese twin there. He's cracked it in
on the inside guy.
See, I like Galen because Galen is a gambler. Not with money, but he trusts his team. He knows what he's got. He's got a lot of talent out there, and he likes to let them play. He likes to let them be athletes.
2nd and 10. 1 minute to play exactly here in the first half. Kuklick throws, pass caught right at midfield. Number 81, Diallo Burks coming up with a grab.
They got to hurry and get this ball down and dead.
John Williams with the coverage.
Zero try!
I mean, you can see Orlando, their offense is very attack-oriented.
Gone!
Clock is running, 49 seconds, 48 seconds. Rage trying to get in position here.
Go!
Here comes the rush. Shante Carver applying pressure.
Shante's got so many
wings it. He's got a man. It's Tony Gator. First down, complete.
You got to call timeout here.
And they do. Tony Gator, he's one of the backup receivers, and maybe Kuklick has a better relationship with him
because he's
one of his guys
running the second team unit with him. That's pretty good.
There you go, boss. I know my football.
I'm proud of you. I'm rubbing off on
you. I'm learning, baby. Let's stick with you.
Brian Kuklick very quickly has come into rhythm.
What's your best move? Watch your corner sinking. You got 2 left. Smash, seam, right? With the other guy coming in 2-man.
You want to go trade. You're going 2-man for the guy got
okay. Let's go. What do you got?
Two good pass plays put him in this position, boss.
2 big pass plays under a tremendous amount of pressure. Diallo Burks comes up with a big catch over the middle, and then Brian Kuklick has enough presence of mind to get the club up to the line of scrimmage and find Tony Gator, again, moving the club down the field with a lot of authority.
Back to live, Kuklick with time.
Whoa!
Throws another strike. Kuklick now 4 of 6.
Mario Bailey did a great job of hanging on to that ball.
Rico Clark making the tackle on Mario Bailey. Bailey shaken up.
Rico Clark playing out of position. He normally plays left cornerback. He's playing right cornerback tonight.
Once again, Orlando takes the timeout. Jay Taylor is the kicker. He hasn't missed a kick this year. He's perfect 4 for 4. So Orlando with a timeout remaining. Memphis has a timeout. Impressive drive as Kuklick, it seems like he's got loosened up.
Absolutely, and we talked about it earlier. He needs a couple of series to get into rhythm. I mean, I've seen him throw the ball. He's got a cannon. There's no question about that.
0-60 speed bang on 1. 60 now, 60. No, gun.
Kuklick completions of 19, 21, 12, and 15 on this drive. Mike Black is the running back. There he is. Kuklick throws it well. Hit as he throws.
Come on, baby.
He was under great pressure by Tremont Lawless. I think Lawless hit his arm.
They've got plenty of time here. Just take your time. Run your offense.
Scream. 1 tray, 60 scream on 1. Gun.
60 scream or screen?
Thought he said screen.
Well, if it's screen, I think we all know what that means.
Mike tried to set up Black here.
It'll be his first catch of the season. There he is.
Going into the end zone. Incomplete. Must have been screen, Boz.
I think it was screen because Kevin Swain was screaming down the sideline. He just jumped a little bit too soon. And again, it goes to show you the kind of strength that Brian Kuklick's got in that arm of his.
John Williams was covering along with Marcus Wimberly.
Go 0-60 smash.
0-60 smash on one, right?
0-60 smash is the play they ran a few plays ago. I still think they have plenty of time to go over the middle. They got plenty of timeouts. And if the middle is open, which it is right now, go ahead and test it.
3rd and 10. Here comes the press. And the pass is overthrown.
Yeah,
and that's a
flag on that. Marcus Wimberly came in. He wasn't even playing the ball. That ball was well overthrown. Marcus Wimberly comes in. It wasn't even playing the ball. It commits probably the worst foul that he could commit right now.
Marvin Thomas had the pressure.
The ball was already by the receiver.
That ball was not catchable, Boz. Let's see if they pick it up. They're going to pick this one up.
They're going to give him a gift. They're going to give him a gift in Memphis. Elvis is alive, and the Cadillac's just been given.
Officials making the call, apparently a correct one, and now Orlando.
I agree with it. I mean, you don't get something for free. At least earn it.
Jay Taylor has not missed this year. He's the only kicker in the XFL who has not missed this year. He's setting up for a 42-yarder.
Rich Young is the snapper, is the linebacker.
Taylor, he missed it! There's no such thing as being perfect here at the Asylum, Boz.
Well, that much pressure.
Good job.
But as big as this game is, I know it's still early in the season. I think he just flat misses it. He pushes the ball to the right, obviously, but he just missed the kick.
So Taylor, his first miss this year, 9 seconds remain. And Memphis content to go into the locker room with a 16-12 lead.
That's a solid first half for this Memphis Maniax team.
Brian, you got some zip out there. Obviously, that had to do tremendous to help your confidence with that drive, even though you got no points out of it.
Yeah, we moved the ball nice. Now we just got to put it through the uprights and come out in the second half and get our running game going. We'll
now, I know as the backup, you don't get a lot of touches. Are you prepared to lead this team in the second half?
Yeah, I've been ready. I've been ready since day one, and just going to go out there and do my best.
Coach, you passed for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, kicked the field goal. What can you improve on in the second half?
Well, we can't turn the ball over. That's been our problem all year. We're not very disciplined, and we got to get it fixed.
I tell you, Kippy's problem, he said it, turnovers. Only had one so far.
Fumble fingers.
One so far. At halftime, the score. The Memphis Maniax 16, the Orlando Rage 12. Set to play ball, second half. Can Memphis win its first home game of the year? And will it come against the undefeated Orlando Rage? The Rage playing without their number one quarterback who was knocked out of the game. Jay Taylor kicking off. Kevin Cobb is deep. And it goes into the end zone. And that will be coming. No, he's going to bring it out.
Whoa.
He didn't have to. Cobb, and he gets to about the 1 yard line.
I mean, we talked about it right before the half. I mean, this is where in the second half, for some reason, Memphis just goes mental. They just can't keep a first half and a second half.
Explain the rule on kickoffs, Boz.
If it goes into the end zone, it is a touchback on its own. If it's touched out in the middle of the field and then goes in the end zone, then you have to bring it up. But Kevin Cobb didn't touch that ball.
Let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Miller Lite. Both teams moving the ball effectively. Memphis making the most of the point-scoring opportunities. Now Memphis in a hole. They'll try to bang it out of there with Rashawn Salam. He skips over a man. And Salam moves it to the 6, tackled by Omar Brown. This Omar Brown is a tackling machine.
You know, I digressed there for a second.
Yep.
I had a brain fart. Actually, on the kickoff, if the ball goes in the end zone and it's still left in the field of play or in the end zone itself, it has to be brought out. All the kickoffs have to be brought out of the end zone.
So he thought that the ball wasn't going to roll out of the end zone, obviously.
Roll out of the end zone.
Mike's 58. Louis 51. Say Blue 80. Blue 80.
Druckenmiller, short pass, and he's going to have the first down. So 2 solid plays. Rashawn Salam gets 6. Charles Jordan gets 12 with the extra effort. Charles Jordan.
He's an interesting fellow, isn't he? Charles Jordan played 7 years in the NFL and is loving playing here in the XFL, but gets his greatest satisfaction spending time with his kids. Try 100 of them in Cincinnati, where he, along with former football star Joe Kelly, runs Kelly Youth Services, a government-aided program with 10 homes with 10 kids per house, ages 1 to 18, get the love and the support and help they need to keep them out of trouble. What a great guy and a great story. I heard that yesterday, and it really made me change what I felt about going back and giving something when you take something from the game.
That was a personal foul penalty, and the Maniacs get the ball all the way out at the 32. Maniacs leading 16-12. And Druckenmiller going to unload deep.
What a cannon!
Jordan can't catch up with that one.
Tell you what, if that ball was thrown 2 or 3 yards more into the field of play, Jordan was going to catch that ball.
Jim Druckenmiller told us he could throw the ball 70 yards in the air, but he says, I've learned over the years, it's not how far you can throw it, boss. It's how well you can throw it.
How accurate you can throw the ball, and he has learned how to do that.
So alert black. I left, slant right on 1. Ready, break. I left, slant right. Alert black.
Good numbers so far.
Slant left is a running play to the weak side.
Mike's 58.
Again, they're trying to overload the defensive line.
Salam. Rashawn Salam continues to put up numbers, tackled by Alexander Salam, 26 years old, out of San Diego, California, the 1994 Heisman Trophy winner. He's got 54 yards on 12 rushes so far, Bob.
He's done a good job, and Corey Gilliard trying to make up for that personal foul. Looked like he came in is trying to kill Rashawn Salam on that. If he just came in under control, he'd have stopped Rashawn for about a 3-yard gain, but instead, they end up getting 8.
3rd and 2 now. Salam. Oh, he runs over a man and bangs it out. He's got the first down and more. He ran right over Patrice Alexander.
I'm telling you, I'm running this shit.
Who ain't feeling?
Hey! Hey!
I take that back. That was not Patrice Alexander. That was James Burgess that he parried. Blitz coming. Druckenmiller is picked up. He throws it deep, looking for Jordan. And Jordan might have been hooked for a moment. Stephen Fisher, the ordained minister, was covering.
Ben Huff came up inside and put a little pressure on Jim Druckenmiller. He threw that ball before he wanted to. In that case, he needed to throw the ball more toward the sideline, but didn't have time to release it.
We got eagle or regular? Let's go I right zip. Let's go I right zip. Pass 56, 822, check flat on 1. Ready, break.
Jim Druckenmiller in his second XFL start. Former 49er.
Here he's going to look for Rashawn Salam in the flat if it's all covered downfield.
I got it!
On second down, Druckenmiller in trouble. He shovel passes beautifully to Roosevelt Potts.
And that shows the strength of Jim Druckenmiller. Won the Ironman contest at Virginia Tech.
How about that? The Druck with the shovel pass.
He's got who's out hanging on him? Whoever it was didn't get enough of him. And Roosevelt Potts happens to be the recipient of an uncharacteristic shovel pass.
You know who does that all the time and very effectively? The man who just signed a 10-year contract. Brett Favre. Got all kinds of little doozies.
Sometimes the play doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to work.
3rd and 5. Druckenmiller all day to throw.
That ball sailed on him.
Charles Jordan was over there, but not even Wilt Chamberlain in his prime could have caught that one. A little too tall. And the Maniacs will be forced to kick it away.
And it was a smart throw by Druck because he really wasn't open. And instead of trying to force something, go ahead and kick the punt here and try to get the field position in your favor here to start your defense in the third quarter.
Druck's a smart guy. Threw it away, he says.
Okay, that's what I just said. Oh, that's what he said.
You said that?
I did say that.
Well, you're just repeating what he said. Try to further the conversation. Jeff Hall booming punt. Here's Skinny cover. And Skinny goes down in a big fat knee.
And there's your big hit by Richard Hogan on special teams.
We're coming back. More football on UPN after this. Brian Bosworth, Chris Raggy, and Michael Barkan. I'm Chris Marlowe.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short there, Sal.
There you go. Orlando has the ball with backup Brian Kuklick, and he throws it away. Let's see if they get a marker on this. Incomplete.
The referee had his hand in his pocket wherever that flag is, and he thought about it for a second, but...
Cornell Menifee blitzing from his outside linebacker position. Kuklick got it away.
He did a good job of getting this away because there was nowhere to go, no place to hide there for Brian Kuklick.
Third quarter, the undefeated Rage trailing the Maniacs 16-12. Derek Clark looking for running room, and he does a good job weaving for about 5. Richard Hogans making the hit along with Shante Carver.
I could see the whites of Derek Clark's eyes from up here, and that tells me that he's reading where that defense is flowing to. He's trying to find that little crease, that little crack that'll buy him enough yards, and that only comes from an experienced running back.
Roger!
3rd and 3.
There he is.
Pass complete. Diallo Burks.
Oh.
Diallo Burks in midfield. Trying to chase him down. His way. And it's a touchdown for Orlando.
Talked about it before. You can't give up the big plays. And then nothing bigger than that right there. 81 yards for Diallo Burks to match his number. He says he has to fight for everything he gets in life. Tell you what, I don't think it's any easier than that because that was right on the money. And it was a track race. Ain't nobody going to catch Diallo Burks because in the real time, he's real money.
Diallo Burks, he was named after a contestant on the Joker's Wild Game Show. Diallo. There was a contestant named Diallo. He was raking in the money. His mama thought it was funny, thus the name Diallo. And Diallo turned on the afterburners.
Diallo's actually playing for about $20 a day because that's what his allowance is. He spends all of his money, sends all of his money back home to his wife and his 1.5-year-old little baby girl because they're trying to find a house to buy.
Kuklick going for 1, throws, the ball's batted up in the air, and it's incomplete. So the Orlando Rage responding, an 81-yard bomb, actually a catch and run by that man. That man, Diallo Burks. So the Rage takes the lead. And Diallo Burks heading for the house.
Corey Sawyer got burned alive on that one.
Rico Clark in Wembley could not chase him down.
Baby!
We're coming back. The Liberty Bowl stunned as the Rage has gone back on top.
Diallo, your coach said at halftime, no more excuses. You got to step up and carry this one on your shoulders. Looks like you took him to heart, huh?
Well, that's just one play by me, but we got a long ways to go in this game, and hopefully the offense period can just keep on making plays.
Remember, he said his favorite movie was Rudy because he's an underachiever, and Boz, this is achievement.
I tell you what, it fired him up so much they came out in this third quarter and they've quieted this Maniacs crowd down a little bit. Now it's the Maniacs' turn to answer.
Just a little bit.
Brian Shea deep, looking to bust one. No, check that. That's Raphael Cooper deep. Cooper and Cobb. 18-16, undefeated Orlando ahead. Cobb, and he's out to the 30.
Now, the problem with Memphis is in the third and fourth quarter, they've only scored 3 points each quarter. So their defense is giving up 51 in 4 games, and their offense is scoring 6. They ain't winning any games that way.
Maniax offense was moving.
Let's take it right here. Let's go. Alert, alert, black. Let's go. I left. Lead draw left. On 1. Ready, break.
Maniax offense moving very well early, but the Rage defense is stiffened a bit.
Well, they need to continue to try to get Rashawn his yards because that's going to control this line of scrimmage, control the ball from Maniax. We're going to get the ball to Rashawn right here.
Left. 11.
Druckenmiller, and that's a bad pass. Ball stuck in his hands, perhaps. Intended for Jordan.
He's not wearing gloves. He's got those big old hands.
Okay, now back to blitz there.
I'm bad.
All right, here you go. First, the hands very effective last week in the rain.
Yeah.
Able to hold on to that football while Tommy Maddox could not. You know, Boz's hands pretty big. Earlier today, watch him compared to Druckenmiller. Oh, Boz, you got little kitten mittens compared to the big kid.
He's got abnormally large hands. He had knuckle extension surgery. There he is.
Pass complete to Prentice. Oh, he's quick. And Prentice gets about 6. Ricky Bell making the tackle.
And Orlando does that. Again, we went back and we talked about it before. They send their linebackers deep in coverage, and they let them have that little small stuff up front.
And
Prentice is down right now.
Shaking up a bit.
Ricky came in and hit him low. He probably got something in his leg. Prentice comes across the middle.
Got 5 catches tonight for 44 yards.
He's played huge. He does this little drag across the middle, down deep. He's trying to get some extra yards.
It was a very innocent-looking play.
You know what he got? He got the face mask on the kneecap. And I've had that before, and it's smart because there's a lot of nerves going on in that knee, especially right there at the patella tendon. The problem is, you see his knee is exposed right there. He doesn't have a pad on it. So it's McAheeney got him pads in his pants, and I never understood that when a wide receiver or some of these other guys, they don't wear pads in their pants. Yeah. I know if I was an owner or a coach of a team, I'd start finding guys because now he has to come out of the game. If he's not useful to the Maniax offense, it's because he ain't wearing pads.
You were a big believer in padding your pants a little bit all the time, yeah?
Dude, I had to have to stuff as much as I could get going. You know, I got to get padding, man.
Well, I got you.
I got to get padding.
You got small hands, you got to have padding.
I'm looking for the collision, and I don't want to feel it.
Prentice is going off, and that's going to be a blow because he has been the Maniac's most reliable receiver. Bo Morgan checks in as one of the wide receivers, the former quarterback from Air Force. 3rd and 3.
He gets a strike, and he gets it right away. Slash. He does it all. He plays a little wide receiver, running back, quarterback, defensive back. He's a return specialist. He was 10th in the Heisman Trophy voting back when he was in the Air Force, and one of the only players to gain 2,000 yards in 2 different seasons. So the guy can play. He's full of talent.
Bo Morgan may be the most versatile player in the XFL. And now the Maniacs with a first down. They've completed, they've converted 6 of 8 on 3rd down. So Druckenmiller's doing a good job. Pass over the middle. And Mark Thomas goes up the ladder and drags it down. Druckenmiller to Thomas. Thomas, a 24-year-old out of Smithfield, North Carolina.
And I talked to Jim before the game started. I said, how are you going to get Mark Thomas involved in this game? And he said, with Orlando, they spread their secondary out to the outside, and he's going to try to get Mark Thomas in the seam, try to get him to squat down in the zone, or get him to start challenging the safety, and that's exactly what he did on that play.
20-yard reception for Thomas. Another first down. Rashawn Salam. And Salam pile drives to the 32.
I mean, so strong. What Galen talked about yesterday is that Rashawn is going to drag our guys to death.
Yeah.
And as the game goes on and they're continuing to stay close in this contest and they can continue to open up holes inside, you're going to get Rashawn those numbers.
Here we go, fellas. Let's go zoom to strong right.
You look at the numbers on Salam. Modest at the moment, but he's capable of breaking one anytime.
He'll break one. If you get him a seam, he'll break it.
Yep. Set. Blue 80. Blue 80.
And the play blown dead. Markers everywhere.
Who got that boy to flat?
That's a shame, too, because that was a good play. They came back to that in the first half with Jim Kitts in the flat
Number
over there.
84 offense for simulating the start of a play. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Boz, I'm not so sure about Kevin Prentice and the face mask on the knee. It looks like he twisted his knee while planning, and then the face mask might have been incidental. His return is questionable. Right now, he's still being looked at.
Thank you, Bartman. Appreciate that.
Thanks for the criticism. We appreciate it.
As always, as always, most of
Mike 51.
Constructive criticism, Boz.
He still ain't wearing any pads in his pants.
Dr. Bosworth rebuffed. And throwing it away was Druckenmiller.
He had to throw that away because James Roberson was about to plant some corn with Jim Druckenmiller as the seed on that one. Nobody even blocked James Roberson on that play.
Okay, here you go.
Third down coming up.
Let me hear this.
Face right, 79X spot.
79X spot.
Right. He's throwing the ball at the cheerleaders.
I think you're going to see the ex-receiver.
Mike's 56.
Big play here.
And they've got, they bring the tight end in back for some protection coverage.
On 3rd and 12. Blitz picked up. Druckenmiller throws a rope, and he's got a first down. Mr. Jordan again. Like a fine Cabernet.
You know what it is? When you lose one of the receivers, you can't play right now. Jordan's coming in and making the big plays when the Maniacs need him the most. He did a great job. It's a great route right there. Problem is Kelly Malvo gave him way too much cushion on that one. If you're going to give him that much cushion, you got to have warp speed to come back in there and close the gap.
Mike's 58.
4.5 minutes to play. Third quarter. Rage up by 2. Salam bounces off a man. He needs a block.
He could go.
He needs a block. He gets one. Rashaan Salam out at the 6. Make it the 7. Charles Jordan throwing the block.
What a block by Charles Jordan. Took Ricky Bell right off his feet and bought Rashaan Salam an extra 6-7 on that one. But better than that, Rashaan Salam did exactly what he needed to do. Nothing on the right side. Hit and miss. Find a place to go. Cut it back to the weak side. Charles Jordan did a good job of just staying inside the play.
Whoa, he's up high. Salam now 78 yards. He got 17 of it on that last play. They're running Salam. How much does this wear on the Orlando defense to be pounded like this?
Well, Orlando's defense on their front 7, they're kind of light anyway. And the Memphis Maniac offensive line, I mean, they're overloaded with weight up there. And so as the longer the game goes on, they're going to continue to grind and drive this ball out here.
All right, here we go. Eye right. Take guy right, pitch left. On 1. Ready, Brick. Ready for black.
You got Harry Boatswain, which they've been running behind all day.
330
pounds, and I think that's the difference. So it is for lunch.
Pitch the ball out to Salam. He's got a break. He jumps into the end zone. Touchdown. That's a touchdown. The ball came loose later.
I'm telling you, if I'm Kippy Brown, I'm sewing his fingers together and I'm putting a net on him. I'm doing everything I can because that ball squirts out too much with Rashaan. You got a flag on the play.
And we may have the preliminary indication is holding. Beautifully executed, Boz. Definitely into the end zone.
Holding offense number 77. PR penalties on the previous
replay.
Second down.
Discipline, Boz.
It's discipline, man. They're committing suicide out there. They get great drive all the way down the field. They get a great score to get this crowd back in the game, and then they do something stupid like that inside the line when the play's going outside. It doesn't make any sense.
Back strong.
Mike Sheldon was the guilty party, number 77. The ball spotted back at the 16 now, so it's a 2nd and 16.
Mike Sheldon's man's not even going to make that play.
590. 590.
Druck too high. Kevin Prentice back in. Too tall. Third down coming up. And Prentice looks to be running freely. Memphis last 4 possessions, 7 plays, 14 plays, 8 plays, 10 plays. So they've been driving the ball down the field, Boss.
They're getting the balls, they're getting the plays down the field. They're making the big plays when they need to. They're converting on third down. They got a big third down right here.
All right, here you go.
Kickers on the gun.
They kick right, 580 smash.
Don't get a sack.
Can't get a sack.
Flip the right gun, zip. Deep face right, 580 smash, halfback dart. I'm on, ready, break.
Now it's technically a 3rd and goal here from the 16.
It's a 580 smash. They're going to try to get the ball to Rashawn and see if they can't get one-on-one coverage here and put a little bit of move, a little dancing.
Salam is out in the pattern.
There he is.
Druckenmiller waiting, throws incomplete. Salam trying to turn around and get it. He could not.
You know what Sean needed to do there is Sean needed to stop and come back. He was trying to read Jim, and Jim was trying to let the play develop, but Rashawn continued to run. He needs to stop and find that open space inside there.
So big kick here for Kippy Brown's
I'll get you in a minute.
man, Jeff Hall. Number 7, Jeff Hall is on.
I mean, he's gold inside the 35, and that's exactly where this one's coming from.
34-yarder. It's up.
He's shiny.
He got it.
He's good. And that's 18 carry.
Hey!
2:15 to play, 3rd quarter. Maniacs regain the lead, 19-18. Brian Kuklick's numbers so far sporadic. He has thrown for a touchdown. He took over for Jeff Brohm in the 1st quarter when Brohm was injured.
Jeff!
Just spoke with team doctor Ronald Brown. He has told me, just got off the phone from the hospital, x-rays have come back clean. There is no fracture. Right now the diagnosis is a concussion and a cervical sprain. But how tough is Jeff Brohm?
You need to go across the street. That's what...
He is headed back to the field. Do you believe it? Rather than resting, they're putting a neck brace on him, and he is coming back to the field. He wants to catch the end of this game. There's no word on how long, if how long at all, he'll be out.
You better hide his uniform, because I know Jeff, he'll try to sneak that sucker on, maybe under a different number, but he'll try to get back on the field.
Hey, I tell you, he wants to come back because we've got a good one going. 2:15 to play. The Maniacs 19, the Rage 18. Maniacs set to kick off. And, of course, this is Jeff Hall. No more as a place kicker kickoff, man. That one's high and short. Returnable at the 15. Mike Black with a cutback, and he brings it out beyond the 30-yard line. Next Sunday at 4 p.m. on TNN. We have a good game for you. The New Jersey Hitmen will take on the San Francisco Demons. That should be a thriller. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern on UPM, the LA Extreme, which played very well last night, travels to Birmingham to take on the Bolts, who have been struggling a bit. Jerry DiNardo's team, after a good start.
We haven't seen the Bolts yet this year.
No, we haven't. I'm looking forward to seeing them. They got a lot of interesting players. Brian Shea in the backfield for the first time tonight. Kuklick, he's got some time. Buys some more with a roll. Throw. Pass caught. Mario Bailey. And Bailey sidesteps a man. And he's finally dragged down from behind. John Williams.
Well, he beat John Williams, and then John Williams comes back and makes the touchdown saving catch, or tackle there. But John Williams, if he's going to make that play, he's got to make the play. Bottom line, I mean, you got to buy the time. I know it's tough, especially when you get out there on an island and the quarterback can buy the time that Brian bought here. But you either come across the guy's face and try to knock the ball down. If you don't, you hook the backside of him, because if you miss the ball, you at least make the tackle.
Kuklick's last 2 passes for 81 and 43 yards. So Orlando on the move, a first down. Brian Shea, NCAA's all-time, all-purpose runner, has it. And the torpedo barrels right into the line.
He's still up.
And he flaps his way inside the 20.
I mean, Brian Shea is averaging almost 9 yards per carry. The guy's a wrestler. He's an all-American wrestler in high school.
And he's always had the Doug Flutie label. He's 5'8", 210 pounds. Everybody said he has been too small to play football. He says, I'm not too small. I'm short, but I am a good player. And he, once again, the all-time NCAA leader, all division in all-purpose yards. There he goes again, and Shea pops through the middle.
Because he's small, we talked to him yesterday.
You had to cut it back.
And I asked him, I said, what shape are your marbles? He looked at me kind of strange, and I realized that they're like square or triangular. They're definitely not round. And the reason for that is because he's so small, he liked defense first. He plays with a very defensive mentality. He's out there trying to tap people and use his size as an advantage.
Was a linebacker in high school in Paola, Kansas. Wants to be an FBI agent one day.
You know, there was one light in Paola, Kansas when he was growing up.
Timeout on the field as Memphis leads by 1. Memphis leading here at the start of the fourth quarter, 19-18.
Back in that rage zone again where they've been so successful all season. They've had one mishap in the rage zone, and it was a fumble last week by Michael Black. And that's one of the reasons why Michael Black's not in there. You got Brian Shea, who's another weapon that they use.
Orlando already with 240 yards passing. They average 160 on the year. Fakes to Brian Shea. Here comes Bailey. And Bailey skips out of a tackle before he's dragged to the turf.
Shante Carver did a great job.
By Kevin Cobb, number 25.
Big speed on Shante Carver's behalf. I mean, that's a big man moving on a little guy like Mario Bailey. He strung him out enough to where he could get his help to come up and help him out and make the play.
Tornado.
We have a shootout here at the Liberty Bowl.
Definitely offensive, over 500 yards, working on 600. That's where he worked with 600.
Brian Shea. And we've got a marker down in the backfield. Marker was thrown as Shea looked to pick up 5. And it's going against the Rage. Once again, the Rage, the highest scoring team in the XFL, averaging 26 points. Maniax, as they move the ball up and down the field, average just 12 points, but the number 1 team in total offense. Let's get the call.
Holding offense number 79 on the takedown. It's a 10-minute penalty. Replay, second down.
Well, that hurts.
John Love showing a little bit too much love, too much hugging inside.
The offensive line for Orlando, Dan Collins at left tackle, Jason Gamble left guard, Garen Patrick is the center. Replacing Cal Dixon tonight, who was out with a torn bicep. Sean Love, Jeremy Akers, Lawrence Hart along the front wall. The biggins up front.
They are large and aggressive.
2nd and 16. Shea remains the running back. Kuklick unloads it, and he is decked. Number 90, Marvin Thomas, got a good lick in. Thomas, 27 years old, out of the University of Memphis. A lot of Memphis guys on this Memphis roster, Boz.
By design, that's part of what the XFL is about. They're bringing some of the home players back in front of their home crowd and let their families enjoy watching them play football right here in America.
A lot of territorial picks
46
from this area.
950 choice on 1.
Brian Kuklick, the former Wake Forest star. He was a high school baseball player drafted by the Mets in the first round, so he's got some athletic ability. 3rd and 16. Kuklick guns it incomplete.
He got a little low.
That was low. Kevin Swain was there, but he couldn't pick it off the grass.
Well, a few times when they get down inside the red zone where they self-destruct themselves, they're going to come away with an attempt at a field goal here. They've only had 1 field goal inside the red zone. Jay Taylor was perfect before that last miss.
So Jay Taylor, who came in 4 for 4.
You know, when you make them, the goalposts look a lot closer. When you miss them, they look a lot farther away. And right now, that thing looks like it's about 60 yards away.
He missed from 42. This is a 39-yard attempt. He rims it, and it's good.
Now they're close again.
So once again, a lead change as Orlando goes back on top. That is our 5th lead change tonight here in the Liberty Bowl. We're going to have more for you. 4th quarter. The Maniacs and the Rage. You're watching XFL on UPN. So far, lots of scoring for us tonight, boss. Orlando striking last.
Well, we knew it was going to be a shootout. The number 1 offense versus the number 2 offense. something has to give, and at least there's a lot of scoring, a lot of big plays.
21-19, the Rage trying to stay undefeated. The Maniacs trying to win their first game at home this year. Kevin Cobb. And Cobb makes his way out to the 23. Next Saturday, our primetime game on NBC, the Las Vegas Outlaws at the Orlando Rage. The start time is 8 p.m. Eastern. And I really like Jim Ross, Jesse Ventura, and Mike Adamle as a team, the threesome. Adamle has brought a little spice to the booth. You like that?
You know what? You got Mike Adamle who comes in, and he knows football, and he's very, very good. And Mike knows what's going on inside the minds of a football player.
Mike's 58.
Stop.
Middle. Stop. Sit.
So the Maniacs.
Say blue 80.
First down from their 24. They'll run Rashaan Salam. Salam breaks to the outside before he's dragged down at the 26.
And it's really important for them to continue.
And Salam and Malvo getting into it a little bit. It is 2 wins, 276 yards, 3 touchdowns. The 2 losses, 124 yards, no touches. Tonight it's still up for grabs.
Still up in the air. He's got to get another 19 yards before that graphic becomes false.
Mike's 58. Say blue 40.
The 2nd and 8.
Blue 40.
Druckenmiller. Little swing pass to Jim Kitts. His 2nd reception. It's a short game. Stephen Fisher. The minister coming up and making the hit.
Stephen Fisher says the Bible says be fishers of men. Well, Stephen Fisher feels that he's been very successful at doing just that. Before he was saved on February 2nd, 1998, Stephen was what he called a wild child. Almost killed a couple of times for being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. Now he saves his teammates by the word of the Lord.
3rd and 6. Druckenmiller throws incomplete right through the hands of Mark Thomas.
What you're finding now, what you're seeing is the defensive line of Orlando is doing some tricky stuff up front. Some twists, some stunts, some slants, and they're trying to get a little extra pressure on Jim Druckenmiller. And on that particular series, they were very successful in doing just that.
Druckenmiller's cooled off a bit. James Burgess was in Druck's face. So pressure now on Jim Druckenmiller to come through. He'll have to wait. It's a 4th and 6. The Maniacs will kick it away. Skinny Culver is deep. Skinny hovering. Skinny's got it. And Skinny dives to the 40. 10:50 to play in the game. The undefeated Orlando Rage hanging on to a 2-point lead.
We need to go Zen because you don't have.
Stephen Fisher, number 35 for Orlando, an outstanding football player. He is also a man who believes in the Word of God. He regularly holds Bible study classes with his teammates. A couple of weeks ago, after a slow start, the ball miraculously found his way into his hands for 2 interceptions. He credits divine intervention.
Every good gift and every perfect gift cometh down from heaven from the Father of lights, in whom there's no variation or shadow of turning. I believe that the Lord is with the Orlando Rage, and I thank him and I praise him for being with us thus far, and I know that he'll be with us even after today.
So Stephen Fisher waiting for his opportunity.
Let's go,
Will destiny shine on him again tonight? The Rage undefeated, the only undefeated team in the XFL. The Rage will set up with Derek Clark. He gets the ball, breaks off the right side, and he is dragging men, dragging crazy Maniacs with him to the 49. The Rage with only 79 yards rushing tonight, Bob. Do you think they should concentrate more on their ground game?
Well, right now their passing game is doing the trick because they're getting 240 yards, which is about exactly where Coach Galen Hall would like it to be. Unfortunately, they lead the XFL in rushing, and their rushing is suffering right now. So this is where they can start picking up the pace and start grinding out this clock.
Go!
Clark again. And the Rage defense rising up. Middle of the line, TJ Fryer.
Now here's been the Rage's biggest problem. They don't convert 3rd downs that well. They're only converting about 28%. Actually get a 1st down on that one.
Galen Hall, well respected in the world of football. 18 years as the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. He coached Boz for 1 year. He said you were a good player, aggressive, and very intelligent.
God knows exactly what he's talking about.
Here comes Clark, trying to get around the corner. This is not his forte. Pretty good straight arm, but he's not going to get much mileage out of going wide against this Maniac defense.
No, this Maniac defense flows very well. Patrick Sapp did a good job of not losing containment right here. Comes in here and pushes Patrick Sapp down. But John Williams, who tells me he can bench press 375, bench pressed his butt right out of bounds.
Angle gas.
950, 212, angle gas on one. Right.
John Williams, one of the corners. Rico Clark, the other one. Pressure on them now. 2nd and 7. Looking Williams' way, pass incomplete.
Shaka back in the backfield of the Orlando Rays, man. He might as well pitch tent back there and start paying mortgage rent.
Shante Carver is his given name.
I mean, Shante comes off the corner like he just ate a big-ass bowl of beans, and he's been doing it all night long, exploding on their Orlando Rays quarterbacks. What we got?
It was that man who knocked out Jeff Brohm in the first quarter on a legal hit. A tough hit, but a legal hit. Now Kuklick, 3rd and 7. Crowd comes alive.
25.
That third down conversion problem. They're going to blitz him. They're going to blitz him.
Kuklick's got time, and that's going to be way short of the first down. Pass complete to Diallo Burks, but he's wrestled to the turf quickly by Rico Clark.
Rico Clark shares the team lead with tackles at 20, but Rico did a great job of just making a play right there and trying to get his offense the ball back here with 8:20 left to play in the game. They got a long field to go.
Got to step up. Got to step up. Got a hot route.
Rico Clark making the play, punting situation. Snap is high. Remember, it's a live ball. Kevin Prentice, and he is nailed at the 13. James Burgess getting down there. This has been a game of a lot of big plays, scoring, and big hits. Take a listen.
That's why here in the XFL we care to give only the very best. Rest in peace.
So now, what can Jim Druckenmiller do? He's going to hand the ball to Salam. He's trying to work his way.
He's got no place to go.
Still, he gets a couple. Someone barking down there. Might be Alexander.
That's James Burgess. He's got that Miami of Florida. He ain't got nothing, and he ain't going to get nothing as long as James Burgess.
Respect.
It's funny, that's exactly what Rashawn said last week about the LA defense. He didn't respect them. I guarantee right now, James Burgess is going to make him respect this Orlando defense.
The Rage's leading tackler. 33. 2nd and 90, got a yard. Take the Salam. Druckenmiller throws a roll, caught by Prentice, first down.
Great catch by Kevin Prentice. The layout on that one a little bit, but there's a great throw also by Jim Druckenmiller under a little bit of pressure. Comes back in a 5-step drop. Looks at his one receiver that's open for a 12-yard reception there by Kevin Prentice.
Prentice averaged 18 yards per touch when he was at Mississippi State, so he's a dangerous guy, can break away at any time. There is KP, 5'7". A bundle of energy.
Rig and swap. 11.
Druckenmiller again. Short drop, short pass, good catch, tackled immediately. Darryl Hobbs, the former Raider, knocked down by Corey Gilliard. Druckenmiller now 15 of 28 for 176 yards.
Ricky Bell has given such a big cushion over there that Druckenmiller's taking advantage of that with these little quick stops. As long as they continue to give that kind of cushion, he'll be able to move the ball down the field in chunks of 8, 6, 9, 10, 15 yards.
6 minutes to play. 21-19 Rage leads. Rashawn Salam. And Salam up to the 39. So the Maniacs starting to move. Rashawn Salam getting closer and closer to that 100-yard mark.
I mean, Rashawn's got so much power. I mean, he'll flat run your ass over if you give him a chance. He'll also run away from you if you give him a seam. So you really got to play every play.
Averaging just over 4.5 yards.
Strong.
Maniacs trying to mix it up, boss. Be unpredictable.
Watch the blitz. Win. Sit. Green 80. Green 80. Hit.
On first down. Druckenmiller throws, pass caught. Kevin Prentice. Around the corner he goes. Boy, Prentice is quick.
He is fast. And again, you got that little cushion right there, 5 yards outside the line of scrimmage that Jim is trying to pick on. It's being successful, and it's allowing him to move the ball down the field.
KP gets 12 yards.
He's caught about 3 or 4 of these balls today, these little quick drags. Jake Morgan's trying to get a shot on him. Wasn't getting enough.
Of course, a lot of zone defense for Orlando. They're giving him the underneath routes.
Well, they're scared of the talent of these Maniac receivers because they're quick, fast, and they can get away from you in a hurry.
Another first down. Rashaan Salam, and Salam near the 45. So the Maniacs with the clock running at 4:50. Trying to get into field goal range.
Glenn Roundtree moving Ben Huff back over there. I tell you what, Rashaan Salam didn't even get hit until he's about 3-4 yards past the line of scrimmage there.
Bernard Williams, Glenn Roundtree, Mike Sheldon, Doc Holliday not available today. Jesse James at right guard. Barry Boatswain.
Louis 51.
The O-line.
Bernard Williams is an interesting guy because he's 6'9", 250, and he's still making the job look easy.
Rage blitz. It's picked up for a moment. There goes Druckenmiller, and down he goes. Andre Purvis had the pressure, Buzz.
Looks like they had everybody coming but the kitchen sink, and James Burgess comes in and cleans it up. But Andre Purvis does a good job of coming up the middle and flushing Jim Druckenmiller out of the pocket.
Lost 3. So a 3rd and 11 as we go into the 4-minute mark. Purvis is out, passing situation.
Come on. White 56.
3 wides for Memphis.
Say white 90.
Maybe the biggest play of the game right now for Jim Druckenmiller. Dumps it over the middle, incomplete. 2 receivers were there. Thomas was there. Rashaan Salam was there.
Too many receivers in the same spot. I think you got to go ahead and punt this ball, try to work it down there, use your offense or use your defense to try to get the ball back in some pretty good field position. You got plenty of time. All your timeouts are left.
Maniacs.
What got us into a problem? We ran. What was the first play?
So Hall to kick it away. Low snap.
He could use a really high punt here.
It's a live ball after 25 yards. Good kick.
Great kick.
Skinny is back. They got to trap Skinny, and they do.
They did a good job right there. It's exactly what they wanted to do. Now they got to pin him back here in a 3-and-out situation, get this ball back ASAP, give Jim Druckenmiller a chance to move the ball back down and at least get a field goal and win this game.
Kevin Cobb making the big special teams play.
Kevin Cobb's been everywhere tonight.
The pressure now on the offense of the Orlando Rage.
Funny, I think the pressure's on the Maniac defense. They got to come up with some big stops here. They got to keep them pinned back there.
We're at the Liberty Bowl. Primetime football on UPN. Rage undefeated.
0-14 on 1. Right?
Leading 21-19.
They're going to go ahead and start to try to grind this ball out with a basic 0-14 play, which is just off tackle.
Maniacs dig in. And the ball to Clark. Now make that Mike Black. Mike Black takes it out near the 7.
Marcus Wembley comes up from his safety spot. Makes a big hit.
How long do you let it run before you start calling your 3 timeouts, boss?
Oh, you got plenty of time right now.
Okay.
I think you go maybe after this play right here, they got a 2-minute warning. I think you call a timeout before the 2-minute warning if you can stop them and hold them to a 3rd down and long here.
2nd and 7. Brian Kuklick. Once again, Black. And Black takes it out. That's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
Too many yards. Marcus Wembley makes a stop again.
2:08, 2:07, clock counting down. It's going to be a 3rd and 1. So they're going to let it run to the 2-minute warning. And we're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. The Rage leading 21-19.
Jeff Brohm, after a hit like that, you deserve a 3-week vacation. What are you doing back here right now, and how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. The neck's a little sore. Just have a cervical sprain, but it's something that's not too serious. And, it was just a good hard hit, and those things happen in football. And I'll be back.
Well, you may or may not like this, but your replacement's having a heck of a game. Have you been coaching him along the way?
He's a good quarterback, and he has a good mentality. He approaches the game well, and I knew it when he went in there, we did well.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but after you took the hit, you did get a touchdown pass out of it.
That helped the injury a little bit.
It helped soften the blow, so to speak.
So Jeff Brohm back on the field. Shante Carver delivered the hit, and now Shante has to get his defense ready. 3rd and 1.
He needs to deliver one more big hit, get this ball back in the Maniacs' offensive hands.
The Orlando Rage with 2 minutes to play. Mike Black is the running back. They hand it to Black, and he's hit. And it's going to be very close. He may have gotten it with forward lean. Hogans was there.
Bring him in.
Let's see where they mark it. Oh, that was not a good mark, Boz.
That's a Maniac mark right there.
Let's see. It's going to be extremely close.
That's going to be really close right there.
What do you say, Boz? You've got good vision. I think he's short.
It looks like he's short.
I say he's short from the other side.
If you're going to say he's short, I'm going to say he's got it. That's the kind of guy I am.
Oh, man. Ted, that's only a 9-foot chain, though. Or yards, whatever you play football in.
Okay, you got sand in the brain, dude. You got that volleyball thing happening. Sorry.
Right now.
Just keep rubbing on me, dude. You'll get it soon. But in the season, you have it all down.
First down now.
0-14 back.
Now the Rage forced to spend their timeouts. The Maniacs, excuse me. Maniacs with 3 timeouts left. They got to stop him here.
You all right? They're going to let this clock run all the way down. This is a sign of a good quarterback.
I'll take it.
Tremont Lawless comes in and makes a big hit there, but Tremont had a great game last week, and that's one of the reasons he's starting in place of Marvin Thomas this week.
All right. Get him down there, Rich. Good truck down there.
Don't forget, next Saturday, prime time, the Las Vegas Outlaws, the best defense in the XFL, the Orlando Rage, the best offense in the XFL.
Don't forget the cheerleaders. Don't forget the cheerleaders.
In the, thank you, Brian Bosworth.
Yeah.
In the locker room.
Cheerleaders will be in the locker room.
There you go.
Yeah, but they're going to be, the hook is, they're not going to be in the locker room. They're going to be naked in the locker room, right?
That I don't know. I don't know about that. You know what? I'm glad I'm not going to be there for that because I don't need.
No one wants to go into the locker room if they're not doing something.
I just want to watch it. Watch it on TV. Inside access coverage of the XFL, inside the locker room of the cheerleaders.
Galen Hall.
It had to be the 5 on the tight end because Hogan stayed
0-14 on 1, right?
Coming back with that same off tackle, off the guard play.
Lots of offense in the XFL. Tonight on UPN, Derek Clark is back in the backfield. 2nd and 10. And the ball to Clark. He pushes the pile.
Dragging a pile.
Jumping on top of him was Marcus Wimberly from the University of Miami. And the second timeout used by the Maniacs. Now the Maniacs have one more, Boz. And if they can hold them on this play, they'll get the ball back one last time for Kippy Brown.
They have to go in a 2-minute drill offense where they're going to have to be able to make completions. Big completions, get his offensive line up to the line of scrimmage, down the ball if he has to down it.
35. Hey, they don't make it. I'm out. Hey, unless it's incomplete. Unless it's incomplete.
0-14 on 1, right?
Come back to that same off tackle lead.
3rd and 5. Maniacs need a stop. Go! Derek Clark trying to get the first down. No, it's a bootleg. Kuklick running for the first down. And Kuklick gets the first down. What a call. Oh, yeah. Jeff Brohm likes that a lot.
You know what? That's not the play he called in the huddle. I'm wondering if that's something only he and Coach Galen Hall knew about.
Galen Hall, the offensive coordinator, is Mike Kelly. Oh, it's a beauty.
That really is. You know what? Because there's so many mics on the field and there's so many ears and eyes everywhere, sometimes you might have to be a little sneaky on even with your own players.
Kookie with the biggest play right there. Go! Derek Clark and the Orlando Rage.
I mean, you realize the Maniacs have yet to win a home game. This is huge for Orlando.
Are you telling me that, or are you telling yourself that?
I'm telling the guys out in TV land now.
Okay. So what's the significance that they haven't won a home game? They're not quite as focused at home as they are on the road?
No, the important thing here is Orlando is now still undefeated, and they get a chance to go in next Saturday and test their offense against the #1 defense in the XFL.
Snap it with about 12 seconds.
That's going to be a hell of a game, man. I'm tuning in for that one.
It's a victory. Just do victory. Deuce victory. You're right.
Galen Hall. Jeff Brohm knocked out of the game in the first quarter.
And you know what? The production didn't fall off that much in production. Kuklick really believes in what he can do. Galen Hall believes in what Kuklick can do. Now this Orlando offense believes in what Kuklick can do. It'll be interesting next week as they start lighting up the fire of the Las Vegas Outlaws.
Maniacs are out of timeouts, and the Rage will take the knee. And you can hear the players saying it's over.
Start divvying up the cash. That's a $100,000 win on the road.
So the Orlando Rage, you got to hand it to them, Boz. They seem to be able to find a way to win. The Kippy Browns team gave it everything they had.
Very well, guys. Great job.
And the great run.
Enjoy it, guys.
By the Orlando Rage continues. Set to go to 5-0 in 16 seconds. One more kneel down, and that should do it.
A little frustration is getting taken out there. I mean, these games really mean a lot to these guys. These guys, they don't want to be in the XFL. They need to be here in the XFL. They need this money. It makes them feel proud to be able to play football in front of the American people. Allowing us to come into their homes and.
You got a hell of a team, guys.
Appreciate it.
You got a hell of a team.
Galen Hall, Kippy Brown.
Good job.
Right,
the winning quarterback, Brian Kuklick, I'll tell you, had back-to-back completions, one for 81 yards, another for 43, but probably no bigger play than that bootleg at the end of the game.
Yeah, that was big. We needed one first down, and we could run out the clock, so they told me to keep it, and I did. I just got down after I got the first down.
It's tough when your starting quarterback goes down, but you come in and you perform like you've been in that position all season.
Yeah, you know, I've practiced like I was a starter, and the guys have confidence in me, so I just had to come out and play.
On that 3rd and 5, 0-14 was the call. Was the bootleg, was that a secret between you and Galen, or was that the play call?
Yeah, it's the only person in the huddle that knew I was going to keep it was me, and, you know, it worked out, so.
Now, Jeff is back on the sideline. He says he's feeling good. Good to see him back.
Yeah, it's great. That was a rough hit, and, you know, we weren't sure how he was going to be, but I hope he's all right.
You guys are 5-0. You've never had the taste of a paycheck on the short end of the stick. This feels pretty good, huh?
It feels great, man. Keep those bonus checks coming.
Another star is born tonight in the XFL. Brian Kuklick.
No.
Coming off the bench for Jeff Brohm, Brian Kuklick. He plays well, 8 of 19, 2 touchdowns for 207 yards and a touchdown, and of course the big bootleg.
Truck, what happened tonight when you think about the fact that you guys had the lead, you threw for a touchdown pass, ran for a touchdown pass, what happened?
Just turnovers and penalties. You know, we didn't execute when we needed to. There were some, big plays, and we did stupid things to hurt ourselves, shoot ourselves in the foot.
Why has this team been unable to win at home, but yet win on the road?
I wish I had an answer. I don't know. It's something we got to take a hard look at because we're playing well at times. We're just not playing consistent.
And also, it looked like you had a chance to put your foot on their throats, and you just didn't do it as a team. You continue to be. It's tough in the second half for you guys.
It's not lack of trying. Maybe it's just a mental state of mind we need to get in. But something. Like I said, we got to go back and look. Thanks, guys.
Coach Hall, 5-0. You hate to talk about the perfect season, but you're well on your way.
Well, we got 5. We got to try to get 6 next Saturday night against Vegas. It'll be a tough game. This is an extremely tough game. Memphis has a really good football team. I've said all along, everyone's equal in this league, and I think that's what's going to come down to.
You've got the premier matchup versus Vegas next week. They lost to Chicago today. Does that affect your thinking towards preparing?
Not at all. They're the top team out there, and they're coming to town, so we've got to get ready to play.
Coach, you got a little sneaky with us there on that bootleg at the end. I know we got cameras and microphones everywhere, but you had a little something covert going on there.
Well, what happened, they were inside, a very tough defense to run against, and, Brian's a good enough athlete, and he made a great play on it.
Can you believe the hit your starting quarterback took in the first half?
He got a couple of them, and not happy about that. I mean, they were good and legal shot. The one that knocked him out was Jeff's a tough kid, and he'll be back.
Coach Galen Hull and his Orlando Rage, a perfect 5-0.
Halfway towards an undefeated regular season, the Rage wins it 21-19. We'll be back. The updated XFL standings in the Eastern Division. Orlando continues undefeated at 5-0. Birmingham, with a loss this weekend, drops to 2-3. New York, New Jersey got a loss, 1-4. Chicago gets its first win of the season, 1-4. In the West, it's a battle. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, all 3-2. Memphis, however, misses a big opportunity. Brian Bosworth.
Hey, I told you someone would make a play to win the game. I didn't know it'd be Kuklick on his play. Congratulations, everybody. If you stay like you are, stay together, guys. It's going to be a damn tough-ass time for someone to come and beat us. Hey, proud of you. Excellent job, both sides of the football. Kicking game, good job. Guys, you're 5-0, and you deserve it. Not a team that deserves it better than you guys.
Good work, fellas. Good work.
Great job, man. Great job.
Never said quit. Never said quit.
Stuff back to the hotel for you. I think it's early. You got a schedule. I think we leave at 7:15 in the morning.
Don't forget, next Saturday on NBC, 8 p.m. Eastern, Las Vegas Hitmen taking on the Orlando Rage, our primetime game on NBC, and then right here on UPN, the LA Extreme will travel to Birmingham. That will be on Sunday. The fifth and final lead change here was Jay Taylor's 39-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. That was the ultimate winner.
It was a battle, no question about it. They both came to play. One has to leave a winner, one has to leave a loser.
Orlando continues undefeated. We hope you enjoyed it from the Liberty Bowl. For Brian Bosworth, Michael Barkan, and Chris Raggy, I'm Chris Marlowe saying so long from Memphis, Tennessee. Orlando continues its roll. Final score, 21-19. Good night. Along with Brian Bosworth, I'm Chris Marlowe. Only one team in the XFL has a chance now to go undefeated. It is Orlando. The Rage is 4-0, trying to go to 5-0 tonight. Kind of a chance, realistically, does the Rage have to go undefeated this year?
That is a tall mountain to climb, because every week you win, the pressure starts to build, and all your opponents want to knock you off that mountain. My only advice to Orlando is to take it one game at a time and don't worry about the record.
Orlando is the highest scoring team in the XFL, averaging 26 points a game. Their leader is a tough guy, Jeff Brohm. He's out of Louisville. A couple of weeks ago, after a good start, he got hurt. Run down from behind on this play. He injured his elbow. It's swelled up into a balloon. It's coming down now, and he's hoping for better things.
Well, I think we started off real hot at the beginning of the season with 4 touchdown passes and some big plays in that game. And I think since then we've kind of declined. We haven't been throwing the ball quite as much and haven't been throwing it downfield like we want to, and haven't been making near as many big plays. So we got to get that going.
Jeff's going to wear an elbow pad tonight to help protect that thing. But I tell you what, look for the Maniacs to take a few shots at that, especially Shante Carver, to see if it holds up tonight.
Orlando coach Galen Hall, he has heard the undefeated hype, but he's not buying the buzz, Boz.
He ain't buying it. You know why? Because the head coach's job is to keep the distractions away from his team. All they have to do is continue to win, keep playing well, and they got a shot at winning the big one at the end of the season.
Meanwhile, Memphis has one of the best 1-2 punches in the XFL. Quarterback Jim Druckenmiller and running back Rashawn Salam. Last week, in rainy conditions in Los Angeles, Jim Druckenmiller put up good numbers, 13-22, 215, a touchdown, 1 meaningless interception. He was brilliant, able to roll out, able to find his receivers, throwing spirals, getting the job done. But perhaps most importantly, Boz, he took charge in the huddle.
Kill him, you're killing guys. Keep it going.
Let's go. I think this week we have to establish a pass again, a deep threat. Maybe get them on their heels, and open up the running game for Rashawn.
The running game last week was open for Rashawn Salam. He was brilliant, Boz.
Absolutely, and that's the key to the Maniac's success is keeping him running. He splashed, he dove, he swam, he did the backstroke, he did everything he had to do, and they brought home a victory, a very important victory for Maniacs.
Rashawn Salam, the XFL Offensive Player of the Week a week ago. First week he was good. Second 2 weeks he didn't get 100 yards. Last week good. The question, can he put two consistent performances together back to back? Now this week, head coach Kippy Brown for the
smash, defense number 78. By rule, it's a 5-yard penalty. However, the ball must go back to the original line of scrimmage. Replay, second down.
Okay, Shante Carver receding for the penalty. Shante, 29 years old, originally from Stockton, California, longtime member of the Dallas Cowboys and one of the meanest members in the XFL.
Yeah, he was coached by a good friend of mine, John Blake. He said he was an absolute maniac when he was playing because he just comes at 100 miles an hour every time he's playing.
Go! Set hut!
Little swing pass and bottled up immediately. There's a loose football. Clark lost the football.
Maniac's got that.
Crazy guys do have it, Boss.
That's exactly what they need early on in this game. Get a turnover in your favor. That's something they haven't had.
Patrick Sapp coming up with it, Boz. Patrick Sapp making the recovery, number 94. 2 years with the Chargers. And he comes up with the game's first big play.
Little swing pass here. Richard Hogans does a great job. He comes in, and Cornell Menifee pulls that ball out of there. You do what you do. You got to get one guy holding him up, another guy stripping that football. That's something that Kippy said that they've been working on all week long. He's stripping that football.
So the Memphis Maniax, terrific field position, trying to take advantage of the turnover. Druckenmiller has time. Now he's flushed from the pocket. Druck will run. And Druck is upended out of bounds. Jim Druckenmiller, 6'4", 235 pounds out of Virginia Tech.
Okay, here you go.
The Druck making his second start in the XFL, the former first-round draft choice from the San Francisco 49ers. Everybody thought he was going to be the next Steve Young. And here he's replacing the injured Marcus Crandall.
Right boss goes, on one, ready, break. Alert, runner, spot.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
So 6 yards.
Say green 80. Green 80.
6 yards on the Druck scramble. Rashawn Salam straight up the middle, and he's going to be very close to the first down. Rashawn Salam, the leading rusher in the XFL. Tackled by Corey Juilliard. Druckenmiller, his girlfriend, Julie Cialini. Now, breaking news this week that Julie Cialini and Jim Druckenmiller no longer an item, boss. What does that mean to you?
That means Druck's back on the market. And the Playboy Bunny's in the back seat, maybe the trunk.
Mike's 58. Say blue 80.
Back under
blue 80.
Druckenmiller faked the ball to Salam. Druck throws on the run, pass caught. Kevin Prentice, 5'7", 155-pounder from Mississippi State.
You know, that's a great job by Prentice outside. He finds a little pocket over there in the corner off the 5-yard line, but Prentice playing huge for a little guy. Once he saves back outside the zone, does a good job of making the catch and getting out of bounds.
Last week you ridiculed him for being too small, and then Harry Boatswain backed you down over at the asylum and told you to cut it out.
Maybe I should lie and say he's 6'9".
And off right up the middle, Rashawn Salam, touchdown. He's in. Rashawn Salam.
Rashawn Salam doing a great job. I'll tell you what, who did a better job is Earl Scott. Harry Boatswain right up the middle.
Don't kiss up to Harry now after he backed you down at practice.
He didn't back me down. You know why? That's because as soon as I told him what I ain't crossing one with my brethren, he backed down. That's a great job inside blocking. It's a better job of reaching that ball over the goal line, getting 6 points early here for Memphis.
All right, the Memphis Maniax trying to punch in the extra point.
Black right 11. Black right 11.
Druckenmiller a throw for it. And it's incomplete. Not sure who the pass was intended for. There were two receivers there. Jordan was one of them. Hobbs was the other.
It looked like a little miscommunication down there in the slot receiver with Hobbs.
So Kippy Brown, knowing his team usually needs every point to secure a victory.
Yeah, I would want to run that.
His team leads early. 4 plays, 24 yards. Salam, a 5-yard run. You think these guys are having a blast? Wait till you see WWF Smackdown. 2 hours of all new action every Thursday night. The #1 show on UPN. Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Memphis is 2-2. Memphis won its opening game 24-22 on the road. Lost to Las Vegas 25-3. Lost to San Francisco 13-6. Both of those here at the Liberty Bowl, and then won last week in the rain and slop 18-12 over Los Angeles. Completely different Los Angeles team last night, Boz, the one we saw in the NBC primetime game.
No question.
Snowing in the east, it's raining in the west, but here in Memphis, Tennessee, the weather is just right. We welcome to the Liberty Bowl, where tonight the undefeated Orlando Rage tries to vent its fury on the Memphis Maniax. Let's scramble for the ball. The team that wins it gets a choice of possession in the first half, and if necessary, in overtime. The scene here in Memphis with the weather good. The fans have come out. The painted faces are ready. It's a big one for Memphis. They are 0-2 at home. They are 2-0 on the road.
They unlocked the doors to the asylum, and there's some crazy ones out tonight.
Scrambling for Orlando with a record of 2-1, it's Scott Cloman. He is a fast fellow. Scotty.
Gentlemen, these are your instructions.
And scrambling for Memphis, he is a Carl Lewis wannabe. His name is Kevin Cobb. He is 0-3.
Whoever secures possession of that ball will have the first choice of options to start the game and the first choice of any option should there be an overtime. Any questions? Put your helmets on. Come on. Right on both sides of me. On my whistle.
There they go.
It's a fight. Hey, oh, it's still alive.
Still loose.
Still alive.
Oh, he's got a hold of him. He's got him in a figure-4 leg lock.
I used to play that game when I was on the playground too. Take that.
And Cloman said, eat my dust. He had his leg. He had his leg.
Coming right at you, right in the middle of the face. Ball squirts out right there. He grabbed his leg. You won't let him go. I played that game before.
A Brian Bosworth maneuver. 50 degrees. It is cloudy, but we have no rain, no snow. It is just another day at the beach here in Memphis. Hi, everybody. Memphis Maniax said, our biggest problem is discipline. And, Boz, this is a subject that you know a lot about.
Absolutely. I'm a very disciplined man. And of the 230 plays that Memphis has run offensively, 51 of them have been problems. Either a fumble, an interception, or a penalty. That's what's killing them.
And you look at the turnover margin, Orlando +3. That is pretty good. But Memphis -5, last in the XFL. That's a problem, Boz.
That's the difference between being 4-0 and 2-2.
All right, we're set, ready to kick off. Orlando, of course, won the scramble using the figure-4 leg lock, and Orlando is going to receive. Kicking off is Jeff Hall and Brian Shea. The kid from Emporia State is deep. Primetime football on UPN. Here we go. Taken by one of the up men. And that is Mike Black, and he gets a short return. And here comes Jeff Brohm.
Here we go. Z1 trips.
15 on one. Ready?
All right, sounds like a pass.
D1 trips 15. That's their base running play.
Rip.
A 15-16 running play. That's their base running play out of this formation.
The handoff is to Derek Clark. Clark, the workhorse in this offense. 6'1", 235 from Evangel College.
That's where to start that bit, baby.
Jeff Brohm had 4 touchdowns
15
in week 1. He's only had 2 since. He's been in a little bit of a slump.
You know what? He does just enough to win the football games. He does not enough to lose it. So that's exactly what you want your quarterback to do.
2nd and 3. First pass for Jeff Brohm. He's pressured and down he goes. The Memphis Maniax, folks. The XFL's #1 team against the rush, 3rd in the entire league in total defense.
You know what? After last night's performance in New York by LA.
Okay, tack that on to the...
A little too aggressive there on the Maniacs part. Shante Carver came in off the side. Now, I tell you what, Shante Carver has been playing possessed all year long.